Simran madam, please.
Good afternoon.
Simran ji,
Sir. Good. Yes, sir.
we have to first ask Mr. Gyan Mishra, who's the council member and chairman of IBC committee, to speak. Then I'll come.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. We are going to have a session, begin a session, and it would be on the stock market that would be using the Elliott wave theory and also intraday trading tips. So I would like to call Mr. Gyan Mishra on the stage, on the stage to speak.
So thank you, Simran. Very good evening to all the respected participants. And of course, today's speaker, Nitin ji, Navjot ji, Simran ji, and very respected Charanjot Singh Nanda sir, who has given this opportunity to interact with all the respected participants, though virtually, but very interestingly. Friends, we all know that the stock market is an area which is very close to the heart of the chartered accountants. And of course, a lot of chartered accountants have made it a point where we can not only invest, we can not only trade, but we can look it as our career. And it was well, established by one of the world-renowned chartered accountants, Junjunwala sir, that chartered accountants can pioneer any field wherever they are. Not only Junjunwala sir, we can witness a lot of professionals who are in the stock market and doing wonderfully. And trust me, this is an area where total knowledge and total experience of chartered accountants are well counted. And it is that they not only can earn money, but certainly they can wonderfully make their name, fame, whatever they like in this field. Friends, trading in the stock market is not at the same time a joke. This is totally art and science both. And I'm sure that Nitinji is going to deliberate on both the things. Especially he was just telling that with respect to the intraday trading, which is generally, people try to avoid, because to be an investor, to be a long-term investor is always good. But it's really interesting to listen him. And I'm sure that by his deliberation, we shall, earn the money. And of course, we can even map up our career in the field. So thank you, Simranji, for your humble introduction and giving this opportunity. And I'm thankful to Nanda sir, who is kind enough on me. Whenever I'm with him, he always gives the affection and love like a younger brother. So thank you, Nanda sir, for your, this opportunity to me.
Thanks a lot, Mishra ji, for your very scintillating presentation. Listening to Mishra ji is a feast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have with us the Chairman Board of Studies, say Vishal Doshi, who is from Baroda. So we will not spare this opportunity. We'll request him to kindly usher us by his words of wisdom. Over to Vishal Doshi, sir.
Thank you, Nandaji, and a very good evening to all of you. I would not take much time of yours, except that I would say that investing in stock market. I think as chartered accountants, as professionals, we are very well equipped to do what we say knowledge-based investing. Because when it comes to the financial statements, when it comes to analysis, I think there is nobody else better than us who has mastered this art. And rather than going on what we say are the tips of investing, I think we can do much more informed investing in the capital markets. And like Nandaji mentioned, Chairman Board of Studies, I would also like to add that yes, we are keeping capital markets as one of the optional subjects in the new scheme that is to be announced, so that the students can select that area of specialization if they want to at a very young age, and also understand the nuances of investing in the capital markets. So with this, once again, I thank Nandaji and all the organizers for this opportunity of sharing a few words from my side. And I wish you all a very, very happy learning. Thank you. And I hand it over back to Nandaji. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Vishal bhai. Your deliberations always create stir amongst the participants. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel short of words to speak after Mishraji and Vishalji. Both of them are stalwarts in their own field. So I take this opportunity to first of all welcome you all. My very dear old friend Nitin Murarka ji, my younger brother Navjot Singh, Madam Simran Bansal, Afak, the technology expert, Mr. Animesh from the board, Mr. Gaver from the board, and all participants have come here to go home more enlightened. Ladies and gentlemen, today's topic is merely on investing and using derivatives to create value and worth. I can very candidly tell you one thing, that we are at the right parlor. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, under its council, was very happy to allow chartered accountants in practice to do trading in derivatives, to do trading in future and options in currencies and equities segment. So moving in this direction, we have created value, we have brought best of the speakers so that you can effectively take a call and be informed investor. The basic impetus of investment in stock market is to ensure that you add value and create compoundable interest values so that your portfolio ultimately gains unprecedented heights. I will not speak on the technical topic. We have two of the best of the speakers of the country, Nitin Murarka ji and Navjot ji. So I will withdraw here. Time is running fast and we want to listen to both of them. So over to Simran Bansal. Simran, you have been very wonderfully doing the responsibility of Master of Ceremonies. Please carry it on. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We are very grateful to have you with us in such short span of time. And coming to Mr. Nitin Murarka ji, he is a professional chartered accountant that is well respected and widely following the derivative experts in the India. He has experience of 18 years in the domain capital market, especially in the derivatives and index options. He has a specialization in index option trading. And I would like to Mr. Nitin, please take over from here.
Thank you, Simran, and thanks for the nice introduction. And thank you, Nanda sir, Gyan sir, and the CN Institute for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of my family members. In why I call it as a family members, because I am also a chartered accountant, and you all participants are chartered accountants, dear learners. Thanks for joining this evening. I qualified in 2004. May 2004, and since 2004 onwards I am into derivative trading, doing future and options, and solely working on strategies, option strategies. And in this last 18-19 years I found some of the tricks, some of the techniques which works into the market. So as we all chartered accountants are very well in long-term investing, fundamental analysis, we can analyze the balance sheet. We have a fair idea of long-term investing, but what I think that we have little less knowledge regarding technical analysis or derivative trading tricks. And in the current scenario, there are many chartered accountants who are interested in intraday trading also. And as the institute also to trade in derivatives, so it is a kind of game. So I'm going to discuss some of my 18 years of experience, some of the tricks which can help you in day-to-day trading. So you can make your trading as a fun. So let's discuss the tricks. So now going to the presentation, I had developed some of the rules for intraday trading that I would be discussing in my 1 hour of presentation. Then we will have a question answer session. So it's completely intraday trading, how to do intraday trading, how to find out the market direction. What is intraday trading? Actually, intraday trading is when you buy on the same day and sell on the same day. That is called intraday trading. And when we carry forward the positions, like when we buy today and carry it for next 3 days, 4 days, or a month, or more than a month, that is called swing trading or a positional trading. So I would be talking about intraday trading because in NSE, most of the volumes, when you look at the volume of NSE, so 90% of the volumes is from intraday trading. And out of this 90% volume, 87% volume goes to index trading. So that is index Nifty, Bank Nifty. Then we have a weekly options, Nifty weekly options, Bank Nifty weekly options. We have a Fin Nifty also, which is called Finance Nifty, Fin Nifty, that has a expiry on every Tuesday. We have Sensex also that is trading, and Sensex has expiry on every Friday. Now, mid cap index has been introduced. So mid cap index has expiry on every Wednesday. So there is a lot of opportunity. If you learn the technique, you can earn also, and you can make some fun from the market also. So let's get into the basics. So agenda would be the first topic. What is the basics of intraday trading? Why we all want intraday trading? Why the exchange has 90% volume into the intraday? So these points we would be discussing. Then the second, I would be focusing on how to find the intraday trend, because when you are trading in intraday, the most important is to find out कि market का trend क्या होगा. Like say for example, Monday को market open होती है, and then in order to make profit in intraday, you need to find out what is going to be the trend on that day. यानी कि आज suppose Monday को market open हुई 9:15 में, फिर अगर आपको ये आइडिया लग जाए by say 10, 10:30 और 11 o'clock कि today the market can go up or the market can go down, तो उसके हिसाब से you can formulate the strategies. Suppose आपको ये आइडिया लग गया कि there is a strength into the data and there is a probability that by end of the day market can rally, then you can do multiple kind of intraday trading. Point one, आप index खरीद सकते हैं. Second strategy is आप call option, you can buy call options. Third is you can look for buying in index heavyweight stocks like Reliance Industries, Infosys, TCS. Yeah, you can create a multiple strategy. So the primary important thing is to find out the direction of a market कि intraday में किस तरीके से market move करेगी. उसको find out करने के लिए कुछ tricks है जो मैं आगे discuss करूंगा, which has nearly 65% to 70% accuracy. अगर आप इसको backtest करते हैं for last 5 years के data पे, then you will find that this data has an accuracy level of 65 to 70%. So the second point would be how to find a intraday trend. फिर हम third discuss करेंगे कि open interest chain analysis क्या होती है. So open interest ये होता है कि whenever we create a position into the market, जब आप डिलीवरी ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हैं यानी कि जब आप कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हैं, तो वहां पे देयर इज अ वन वर्ड कॉल्ड वॉल्यूम. द सेकंड वर्ड इज इनटू अ डेरिवेटिव मार्केट दैट इज कॉल्ड ओपन इंटरेस्ट. यानी कोई भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स जो आप खरीदते हैं, सपोज यू बाय वन लॉट ऑफ निफ्टी, सो दैट वन लॉट इज अ ओपन इंटरेस्ट क्रिएशन इनटू द मार्केट. सो जो भी पोजीशंस आप क्रिएट करते हैं डेरिवेटिव मार्केट में, दैट इज कॉल्ड अ ओपन इंटरेस्ट. एंड वॉल्यूम इज अ, जो भी आप ट्रेडिंग करते हैं लाइक इन कैश मार्केट और फ्यूचर मार्केट, दैट इज कॉल्ड अ वॉल्यूम. एंड ओपन इंटरेस्ट इज द पोजीशंस क्रिएटेड एंड व्हिच हैज बीन कैरीड फॉरवर्ड मोर देन 3 मिनट्स. अगर 3 मिनट से ज्यादा आप कोई भी पोजीशंस को कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हैं, सो दैट कम्स अंडर अ ओपन इंटरेस्ट. सो यहाँ पे हम ओपन इंटरेस्ट चेन एनालिसिस सीखेंगे, व्हिच इज अ बेसिक ट्रिक ऑफ द इंटायर प्रेजेंटेशन. देन वी विल कोरिलेट, हम ओपन इंटरेस्ट को विक्स इंडेक्स के साथ कोरिलेट करने की कोशिश करेंगे. व्हाट इज विक्स? विक्स इज अ वॉलेटिलिटी इंडेक्स. मार्केट में अगर सपोज द विक्स इज राइजिंग, यानी वॉलेटिलिटी अगर बढ़ रही है, सो दैट इंडिकेट्स दैट देयर इज अ फियर इनटू द मार्केट एंड मार्केट कैन फॉल और मार्केट कैन ड्रैग डाउन. अभी एट द करंट सिनेरियो वॉलेटिलिटी इंडेक्स इज ट्रेडिंग एट 11 है. तो जब भी विक्स इज लेस देन से 20 से नीचे अगर विक्स है, तो दैट इज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉजिटिव साइन फॉर द मार्केट. अ वेरी सिंपल रूल, अगर विक्स बीच से नीचे 20 से नीचे है, तो यू कैन stay invested for the long term of the market, because if the VIX is less than 20, so that indicates that there is no panic, there is no fear into the market, and that is the best scenario to stay invested into the market. Like say we are seeing intraday volatilities into the market, and there are many long term investors who sell their portfolio due to intraday volatility, or say 2-3 days correction into the market, they panic and they sell their stocks. But when you look at a VIX index, if the VIX is not rising and the market is falling, so that could be a false fall into the market. Like say in the month of May, we have seen that many times Nifty corrected more than 100 point on a same day. Next day again it corrected. But what we have seen that VIX was not falling. Volatility index was not rising actually. Volatility index was not rising and the market were falling. So this is a false indication that market can go down. मेरा बोलने का मतलब ये है कि अगर VIX and Nifty has got a inverse correlation, यानी कि अगर VIX volatility index ऊपर नहीं जा रही है, volatility index is not rising and the market is falling, so that is a clear sign that you should buy the dips. So VIX is a very important indicator. You should implement, and VIX का जो data है, अब now the question is आपको VIX मिलेगा कहाँ से? तो NSE की वेबसाइट में अगर आप जाएंगे तो this NSE की वेबसाइट में दे पब्लिश VIX लाइव आपको VIX दिख जाएगी. और VIX अगर 20 से नीचे है तो आपको पोर्टफोलियो में कभी भी डरने की जरूरत नहीं है. मार्केट में करेक्शन हो रही है, यू कैन बाय द करेक्शन एवरी टाइम. But if the VIX is more than 20, 22, 23, so that is a real fear. वहां पे you should liquidate your portfolio and you should wait for dips to re-enter the portfolio. So VIX के बारे में हम डिटेल में आगे डिस्कस करेंगे. Then we will discuss what is key to intraday option trading. क्या क्या golden rules हैं. Then common mistakes we all do and we might do in intraday trading. We will discuss all these points. Now, basics of intraday trading, why people jump into a day trading. The first reason is quick money, because intraday trading में क्या होता है कि there is a you buy, and when you are trading into a derivative section, you can make quick money into a intraday trading, but it is risky also. Always आपको profit नहीं होता है, risk is also involved. But most of the people jump into a intraday trading because there is a possibility of making quick money into the market. Intraday you can trade with a very small capital, because जब आप carry forward करते हैं, you need more margin, more capital to carry forward your positions. But when you are trading in intraday, so it requires very less margin. So, and many traders, they have a lesser capital, or they want to trade with a very lesser capital. So that's why they are more attracted for intraday trading. Again, intraday trading अगर हम करते हैं, then there is a no overnight risk, because जो भी profit या loss हुआ we square off on the same day, and there is no risk of watching the SGX Nifty or Dow Jones or Nasdaq or European market or Asian market. But when we carry the overnight positions, then we have a fear of losing next day. But when we square off every day on the same day, then there is no fear overnight. कल क्या होगा? Then we will create a next new positions based on the fresh data. Again, intraday में कई ऐसे traders भी participants भी entry करते हैं. They don't have a fair knowledge of the market. Just looking at the friends or listening from somewhere that somebody has made very good money, they enter into the market, intraday trading. But intraday हमें तभी करना चाहिए जब when we have a fair idea, fair knowledge, fair tools. और वो क्या tools हो सकते हैं, that I will discuss. But intraday trading is attractive, but it is risky also. But if you follow certain rules and discipline, you can make profits also. And there are many traders जिनको patience की कमी होती है. They are not, they cannot carry for a very long term. So that's why they get into intraday trading. Some very important skills required for intraday. When you want to trade in intraday, it is a game of skills, because investing में तो क्या है कि you do a valuation, you find a good quality, you look at the cash flows, you look at a net profit margin, you look at average growth of a company, and then you take a bet for a long term. Like say Reliance, आप ये देख रहे हैं कि भाई company की growth, annualized growth is more than say 14-15%, company is doing good. And whenever you get a cheaper price or when there is a correction into the market, you invest for the long term, and आप फिर छोटी मोटी fluctuations में को you avoid करते हो. But intraday में क्या है, you need a expertise, you need a timing, because intraday you have a very less timing. You have only 5 and 6 hours to close out your positions. अगर 5-6 घंटे में आपका trade mature नहीं होता है, then you end up losing the money. Whereas in a long term investing, you have a very long time. यानी अगर से 1 महीने में स्टॉक गिर जाता है, then you have an opportunity or option to invest more or average out if the stock is a good quality stock. But intraday you have to square up by 3:30 So it requires knowledge. Without knowledge, it can be risky. So you need to have a proper knowledge for intraday trading. You should start with a small capital. If you are trading in intraday or you are looking to trade in intraday, आपको बहुत बड़े कैपिटल से स्टार्ट नहीं करना चाहिए. You should start with a small capital, and once you develop the knowledge, develop the skill set, slowly and slowly you can increase your capital size. Maybe after 6 months, 1 year, once you start earning capital, earning profits on intraday, then only you should increase your capital size. Intraday करने के लिए आपको कुछ इंट्राडे रिसर्च भी करना होगा, एंड वो क्या रिसर्च हम कर सकते हैं आगे हम डिस्कस करेंगे. एंड यू शुड ओनली ट्रेड इन हाईली लिक्विड स्टॉक्स. यानी इंट्राडे अगर हम कर रहे हैं तो हाईली लिक्विड ऑप्शंस, हाईली लिक्विड स्टॉक्स में ट्रेड करना चाहिए. एंड द मोस्ट ट्रेडेबल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स आर निफ्टी ऑप्शंस एंड बैंक निफ्टी ऑप्शंस. इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग के लिए व्हाट यू ऑल नीड इज, फर्स्ट यू नीड अ प्रॉपर टेक्निकल सिस्टम. अब टेक्निकल सिस्टम, अब इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग जैसे अगर मुझे लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टिंग करनी है तो व्हाट आई नीड कंपनी के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन मुझे चाहिए कि भाई कंपनी की बैलेंस शीट, पीएनएल, कैश फ्लो, कंपनी की प्रोजेक्शंस, ऑडिटेड रिपोर्ट, ये सब सारा डेटा मुझे अगर कंपनी को एनालाइज करना है तो दिस ऑल डेटा दैट आई रिक्वायर्स. व्हेन आई नीड टू ट्रेड इन इंट्राडे, then also I required some inputs. So one input is technical system. कई ऐसे लर्नर्स हैं या कई ऐसे ट्रेडर्स हैं, they just only trade looking at the screen or looking at the TV set or on the views of an analyst. That is not a proper way. The long-term way is you should have a technical system. If you want to trade on intraday, you should have a technical system. अब technical system क्या हो सकता है? That it is based on a technical analysis. Either you can follow a simple chart patterns or a moving averages or a relative strength indicators, but at least you should have a technical system. Then there are many studies that you can apply. So one of the studies that I would be discussing is a open interest put call ratio. So one is you need a technical system. Second is money management is very important in intraday trading. What is money management? Money management का मतलब ये हुआ कि suppose you are trading with say 1 lakh capital for example, then you should not put all your money on one trade. Like if you are trading in index options, तो 1 लाख रुपए अगर कैपिटल से हम ट्रेड कर रहे हैं तो we should not buy the call options from the entire capital. We should deploy only 15 to 20% in one trade, so that agar hum wrong jaye, then we have a other opportunity. So money management is very important for intraday trading. This comes under over leveraging or under leveraging. You should not do a over leveraging. Then trading psychology. When you do a over leverage, जब आप capital से ज़्यादा positions लेते हैं, then you get lot of fear of losing the money. So that comes under a trading psychology and execution part. किस level पे आप entry करते हैं. So these 4 are a very important pillars of intraday trading. अब intraday trading में हम सबसे important part, जैसे हमने starting में ही बात की थी कि market का direction जानना important है कि what is going to be the trend for the day. If we are able to find out the trend for the day, then we can define or design many strategies. So in my trading experience, I have found that this PCR ratio, put call ratio, is one of the tool, one of the layer that you can add on with your studies. Like say if you are using a technical analysis, and technical analysis has a hit ratio of say 50% for example, and if you add one layer which is a PCR ratio analysis, so that will add an extra 20% hit ratio to your studies. यानी कि अगर टेक्निकल एनालिसिस से मुझे 50% का हिट रेशियो आ रहा है, एंड इफ आई ऐड अ इंडिकेटर कॉल पुट कॉल रेशियो, तो मेरी एक्यूरेसी goes up to 70%, and 70% hit ratio in a intraday trading is a very very high and good hit ratio. So at least अगर आप ये if you think that कि केवल पीसीआर से you can make money, that is not possible. You should add, this is a add-on tool, यानी कि technical analysis के साथ you can add on a PCR, or with the Elliott wave you can add on PCR. So what is actually the PCR? अब हम suppose technical analysis is a body, just इसको ऐसे example से समझते हैं कि human body है, और ह्यूमन बॉडी में जो बॉडी के बाहर दिखता है दैट इज कॉल्ड कैंडलस्टिक चार्टिंग. जो प्राइस ग्राफ्स हम देख रहे हैं लाइक कैंडलस्टिक, बार चार्ट, लाइन चार्ट, दीज आर द फॉर्म्स ऑफ चार्टिंग. तो जो बाहर से दिखता है दैट इज कॉल्ड बॉडी. और बॉडी के अंदर ब्लड में इन्फेक्शन है या नहीं है, व्हाट द ब्लड इज डूइंग, दैट यू कैन फाइंड आउट फ्रॉम अ पीसीआर रेशियो कि अंदर में किस तरीके से पोजीशंस बन रही है. बिकॉज जो कैंडलस्टिक चार्टिंग है या बार चार्टिंग है या लाइन चार्टिंग है दैट इज a reflection of price. यानी कि price, if the price is going up, you will see a green candle. If the price is going down, you will see a red candle. But in the red candle, what is happening in the positions? यानी कि जो positions create हो रही है market में, वो किस तरीके से बन रही है. Suppose the market has gone down and there is a red candle and there is a buying and in that red candle in the open interest. So that indicates that what the bigger hands or someone is doing, that market is falling and he is buying. So market can bounce back. So put call ratio से आप find out कर सकते हैं कि really में अंदर में क्या हो रहा है, and price pattern से you can correlate both and then you can take a final decision. So direction intraday में हम find करने के लिए PCR यूज करेंगे. अब पीसीआर कैसे यूज करेंगे हम मैं नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में आपको एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करता हूं. देन देयर इज अ मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द पीसीआर, यानी कि ट्रेंड. वन इज, ट्रेंड भी कई तरीके के हो सकते हैं इंट्राडे में. वन इज वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग अप ट्रेंड और अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग डाउन ट्रेंड. सेकेंड कुड बी स्लो अप ट्रेंड, यानी धीरे धीरे ऊपर जाएगा, और अ स्लो डाउन ट्रेंड. ठीक है. एंड थर्ड कुड बी अ काइंड ऑफ साइडवेज मार्केट, यानी कि अप ट्रेंड, डाउन ट्रेंड, साइडवेज, strong uptrend, strong downtrend, strong and strong sideways market. How to find कि क्या market strong uptrending है, downtrending है? तो this comes under a magnitude of PCR, यानी put call ratio में कितनी strength है. This will help you in finding the strong or a weak trend of the market. Then the most important point is कि अगर हमने ये find कर लिया कि trend है, suppose trend is up. Now trend is up with the help of this data. सेकेंड इज मैग्नीट्यूड से ऑल्सो हमें ये समझ में आ गया कि स्ट्रॉन्ग अप ट्रेंड है. देन द थर्ड पॉइंट इज कि हमें एंट्री कहाँ पे करना चाहिए, दैट वी शुड इंटर एट द सेम प्राइस और वी शुड इंटर एट अ सम डिफरेंट प्राइस. बिकॉज इन इंट्राडे द एंट्री लेवल इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बिकॉज अगर आप इफ यू इंटर एट अ वेरी फार आफ्टर मूवमेंट के बाद अगर आप इंट्राडे में एंट्री करते हैं देन यू विल नॉट गेट अ गुड रिस्क टू रिवार्ड रेशियो इन इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग. बिकॉज इंट्राडे इज अ गेम ऑफ टाइमिंग. इंट्राडे में आप कितनी राइट टाइमिंग पे कैच कर पाते हैं, सो दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट फॉर इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग. सो टाइमिंग को हम कैसे फाइंड आउट करेंगे दैट वी विल डिस्कस इन पॉइंट नंबर 3, वीवैप ट्रेडिंग. सो मैं अब पॉइंट नंबर 1 पे आ रहा हूँ. दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट स्लाइड ऑफ माई प्रेजेंटेशन. जस्ट कंसंट्रेट एंड फोकस. सो व्हाट आई एम डिस्कसिंग इज पीसीआर रेशियो, पॉइंट नंबर 1. सो दिस इज अ ऑप्शन चेन डेटा. Now, what is option chain data? Option chain data is a casino. Just आप इसे कैसीनो से कंपेयर करें, and I will ask you some of the questions. Question number 1 is just you answer in your chat box or answer in your mind. Casino में if say 100 participants goes to the casino. So what is the winning ratio? 80% of the casino goers wins or lose the market. यानी कि कैसीनो में अगर 100 लोग गए तो 100 में से 80 लोग प्रॉफिट बनाते हैं, या फिर only 20% makes money or 80% loses money. What do you think? So but obvious, you all must be thinking that not even 20% makes money. Nearly 90% loses money into the casino market. So option trading is just like a casino. Now अगर आपको कैसीनो में ये पता चल जाए कि what 90% is doing, and if you know that 90% is not going to make money, and if you are able to find out कि 90% क्या कर रहे हैं, then what you will do? You will do the reverse of 90% because the winning probability for 90% is quite less. अगर स्टॉक मार्केट में 90% लोग विनर हो जाएं So what is the ratio in stock market? Stock market mein it is the same, that only 10% makes money and 90% loses money. So if you are able to find out कि 90% क्या कर रहे हैं, and अगर आपको ये आइडिया लग जाए से by 10:30 11 बजे तक कि 90% is bullish for the market, they are buying call options and 90% is thinking that the market will go up, then you will design a strategy against the 90% of the public, because there is a probability that they are not going to make money. I'm just taking a unauthorized example, which is from a dabba trading. The same concept lies into the dabba trading, that they trade against the crowd. अगर उनके डब्बे में ये देखते हैं कि majorities are on the buy side, so then they are able to find out that the market is not going to up. So what is the theory here? Theory is, if the 90% of the traders does not make money into intraday trading, only 10% makes money. Now, now the second objective is to find out what 90% is doing. अगर हमें ये आइडिया लग जाए कि 90% is bullish, then we design a bearish strategy. Now the third is how to find this. How to find this? अब कैसीनो में हम जाते हैं तो कैसीनो में हमें नहीं पता चलता है कि what 90% is doing, but we can find this in option market. We can find this in NSE market. How to do this? We can find this with the help of option chain data, and this is change in open interest data. Now the question is कि मुझे ये data कहाँ पे मिलेगा? This option chain data is available on NSE website. NSE की website पे available है. Plus there are many softwares available into the market जहाँ पे आप option chain data आपको मिल सकता है. और option chain data is a change in open interest. अब निफ्टी में जैसे हमने अभी बात करी थी कि 90% ऑफ द एक्सचेंज का जो वॉल्यूम है दैट इज अंडर निफ्टी एंड बैंक निफ्टी, और जिसमें भी 85 to 87% वॉल्यूम इज इंट्राडे. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जो मार्केट में मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द ट्रेडिंग्स जो हो रही है उसमें इफ वी एनालाइज द ऑप्शन डेटा, तो दैट इज अ रिफ्लेक्शन, दैट इज नियरली 80-85% रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ द मार्केट. नाउ अब इस टेबल को जस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द टेबल. देयर इज स्ट्राइक प्राइस. अब स्ट्राइक प्राइस क्या होती है? स्ट्राइक प्राइस एक्सचेंज कई स्ट्राइक्स देता है. इफ यू आर अ डेरिवेटिव ट्रेडर, अगर आपको आइडिया नहीं है स्ट्राइक्स का, तो जस्ट गो एंड स्टडी ऑन गूगल की स्ट्राइक प्राइस क्या होती है. तो जैसे सपोज निफ्टी, फॉर एग्जांपल निफ्टी इज ट्रेडिंग एट 18,150. आई हैव जस्ट टेकन अ एग्जांपल. सो दिस इज एट द मनी. यहाँ पे मार्केट अगर ट्रेड कर रही है तो इसके ऊपर की आपको 50-50 पॉइंट की स्ट्राइक्स अवेलेबल है, विच इज कॉल्ड अ कॉल ऑप्शन एंड पुट ऑप्शंस. कॉल ऑप्शन इज नॉर्मली टू कॉल ऑप्शन हम लोग बाय करते हैं when we have a bullish view, और put options हम buy करते हैं when we have a bearish view. So now intraday में this is a last traded price, open interest and change in open interest. ये सबसे important हमारे लिए है change in open interest. So this we call it as an inventory. अब inventory is a very common for we all chartered accountants. अब inventory अगर सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल हम ऐसे लें कि हमारे पास अगर बहुत ज्यादा इन्वेंट्री हो जाए कोई चीज की, एंड अगर बहुत ज्यादा स्टॉक्स हो जाए, तो व्हाट विल हैपन, द प्राइस ऑफ दैट प्रोडक्ट विल गो डाउन बिकॉज देयर इज मोर सप्लाई देन द डिमांड. यानी कि अगर गोडाउन में बहुत ज्यादा मेरे पास कॉल ऑप्शन हो जाए, यानी कि इन्वेंट्री कॉल ऑप्शंस की बहुत बढ़ गई, तो इट मीन्स उसमें भाव मिलने वाला नहीं है. वी विल नॉट गेट गुड प्राइस इन द कॉल ऑप्शंस इफ द इन्वेंट्री इज वेरी हाई. But if the inventory is less, then there is a more demand for the product. Now, change in open interest का मतलब हुआ कि आज के दिन में for today's market inventory किधर ज्यादा जा रही है. So this is call option. ये हो गया हमारा call side, and this is put side, यानी put. अब call होती है why? Call is for upside market, call is for upward market, and put is for downside market. अब यहाँ पे हम इन्वेंट्री निकालते हैं कि व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. सो सारी स्ट्राइक्स को इफ यू कंबाइन द इन्वेंट्री ऑफ ऑल द स्ट्राइक्स, 18,150 में कितनी इन्वेंट्री है? 62,000 शेयर्स. 18,200 में इट इज 53 लाख शेयर्स, 53 लाख. 18,250 में द इन्वेंट्री इज 33 लाख शेयर्स. तो व्हेन यू सम ऑल द इन्वेंट्रीज, सारे इन्वेंट्री को मैंने सम किया तो मुझे कितना मिला? 3,39 lakhs, यानी 3,39 lakhs इन्वेंट्री इन कॉल ऑप्शंस। एंड पुट में इन्वेंट्री मुझे कितनी मिली अगर मैंने सम किया तो 1,90 lakhs। अब आप अपने गोडाउन में देखो, सपोज यू हैव 2 गोडाउन्स, एक गोडाउन कॉल ऑप्शन का है, एक गोडाउन पुट ऑप्शंस का है। कॉल ऑप्शन के गोडाउन में आपको 3,40,00,000 शेयर्स की इन्वेंट्री है, पुट में आपको 1,90,00,000 शेयर्स की इन्वेंट्री है। तो माल ज्यादा किस में है अपने पास? वेयर वी हैव अ मोर स्टॉक्स इज इनटू द कॉल साइड। तो डिमांड किस में आएगी ज्यादा? क्योंकि यहाँ पे स्टॉक ज्यादा है मेरे पास, यहाँ पे स्टॉक कम है। सो नॉर्मली मार्केट मूव्स अगेंस्ट द क्राउड। सो यहाँ पे ट्रिक क्या है कि इफ द पब्लिक इज इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस साइड, वी शुड नॉट बाय कॉल ऑप्शंस, वी शुड फोकस ऑन द पुट ऑप्शंस। और इंट्राडे में हम ये सोचेंगे कि मार्केट कैन फॉल एनी टाइम, वी शुड फोकस ऑन द डाउन साइड। यानी ये जो इन्वेंट्री है इसका रेशियो, सपोज इफ यू फाइंड अ पुट कॉल रेशियो, व्हाट इज पुट कॉल रेशियो? पीसीआर। व्हाट इज पीसीआर? पीसीआर इज this position divided by this position. हम लोग ratio, we are very good in ratio analysis, so we can easily do a PCR ratio. So what is the outstanding position of puts? So it is 1 crore 90 lakhs, for example, divided by put divided by call 3 crore 39 lakhs. So if you get a ratio, so this ratio will be less than 1. It would be around say 0.70 somewhere. So this is less than 1. So if this ratio is less than 1, so that indicates कि ज्यादातर पब्लिक कॉल ऑप्शन में है। और अगर वो दे आर इनटू अ कॉल ऑप्शन, दैट मींस दे आर बुलिश फॉर द मार्केट। सो बिकॉज अगर आप कॉल ऑप्शन ले रहे हैं तो इट इंडिकेट्स अ बुलिशनेस इनटू द मार्केट, एंड देन देयर इज अ प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट द मार्केट कैन गो डाउन। सो इस थ्योरी को हम लोगों ने बैक टेस्ट किया लास्ट 5 years के डेटा को, then we found that this theory works 70% of the time. Now, अब यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन आएगा कि why I am assuming that these all are a buyer of option. So normally what happens that जब आप options खरीदते हैं, so it requires a lesser capital. With a capital of 10,000 also you can buy a call option, you can buy a put option, but as a seller you need lot of margin. So what I'm assuming here is most of the retail traders, they are buyer of option, and they, because capital कम होती है, that's why they are more interested into a buying of options. तो यहाँ पे जो भी open interest है, we are considering it as a from a buyer perspective. तो this जो ratio अभी हमने समझा, so now if this ratio, if this PCR is less than 1, so this indicates that कॉल साइड में ज्यादा इन्वेंट्री है एंड द मार्केट कैन गो डाउन। तो जो मार्केट का डायरेक्शन हमें पकड़ना होता है वो, दिस इज अ वेरी फैंटास्टिक टूल एंड वेरी वेरी सिंपल टूल। कोई कॉम्प्लिकेशन, देयर इज नो कॉम्प्लिकेशन, यू डोंट नीड एनीथिंग, यू ओनली नीड अ डेटा ऑफ चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट। चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट कि आज का चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट कॉल्स का क्या है, पुट्स का क्या है। अब कई पार्टिसिपेंट्स और लर्नर के मन में ये बाद में प्रॉब्लम्स या क्वेश्चन आ सकती है कि हमें कितनी स्ट्राइक्स लेनी चाहिए। तो इस कैलकुलेशन के लिए यू शुड टेक एट द मनी प्लस 3-4 स्ट्राइक्स ऊपर और 3-4 स्ट्राइक्स नीचे ले सकते हैं जिसमें प्रीमियम्स हैं। सपोज कीजिए कि फ्राइडे को वी हैव वीकली एक्सपायरी, सो फ्राइडे, मंडे, ट्यूसडे, वेडनेसडे एंड थर्सडे को एक्सपायरी होती है। तो फ्राइडे को दूर की स्ट्राइक्स में भी प्रीमियम्स होता है, तो आप दूर की स्ट्राइक्स कंसीडर कर सकते हो। व्हेन यू आर ऑन वेडनेसडे को हम आते हैं तो दूर के स्ट्राइक्स में प्रीमियम नहीं होता है, लाइक से ये आउट ऑफ मनी ऑप्शंस विल नॉट हैव प्रीमियम्स। इन दैट केस यू शुड ओनली कंसीडर द इन्वेंट्री ऑफ नियर स्ट्राइक्स, नजदीक वाली स्ट्राइक्स का ही इन्वेंट्री आपको लेना है, देन ओनली यू विल गेट अ राइट पिक्चर ऑफ द इन्वेंट्री कैलकुलेशन। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड पीसीआर रेशियो। अब जैसे ना ये तो कॉन्सेप्ट हो गया, अब इस कॉन्सेप्ट को हम यूज कैसे करते हैं, आपको यूज कैसे करना है। सो every 15 minutes you find out what is happening in this ratio. Say at 12:30, say market starts at 9:15, तो आप 9:30 पे आप जस्ट चेक कि इन्वेंट्री किधर ज्यादा है, कॉल साइड में इन्वेंट्री ज्यादा आई है या पुट साइड में इन्वेंट्री ज्यादा है, और ये NSE की वेबसाइट पे आपको ओपन इंटरेस्ट का डेटा अवेलेबल है. Either you can do a calculation into a Excel or you can go for a softwares which is available into the market. जो मैं अभी सॉफ्टवेयर का डेटा यूज कर रहा हूँ, दिस इज अ SMC सॉफ्टवेयर विच इज कॉल्ड SMC ऑटो ट्रेंडर. आप SMC ऑटो ट्रेंडर के बारे में भी देख सकते हो. नाउ ये डेटा एवरी 15 मिनट वी लुक एट द डेटा कि हाउ द रेशियो इज मूविंग. अब 1230 से ये रेशियो 0.7, 0.7, 0.7. सो इफ दिस रेशियो इज लेस देन 1, सो दिस इंडिकेट्स दैट कि कॉल की जो इन्वेंट्री है दैट इज मोर देन द पुट इन्वेंट्री. यानी कि कॉल साइड में मेरे पास स्टॉक ज्यादा पाइल्ड अप है. इफ द कॉल इज मोर, देन देयर इज अ प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट दिस पुट्स द मार्केट कैन गो डाउन. सो व्हाट इज द फाइंडिंग? इफ द PCR इज मोर देन 1.25, so this is a bullish scenario. यानी कि ये जो रेशियो है, यानी कि if this ratio is more than 1.25, तो हमारा ये bullish scenario होगा. और if it is less than 0.75, then this is a bearish scenario. The market can go down. और if the PCR is in this range, we call it as a bearish, sideways. यानी suppose करो PCR की वैल्यू 1.10 है, so we call it as a sideways market. Why we call it as a sideways? Because the reason is why ये रेशियो 1.10 कब होगा? सपोज जो PCR है पुट डिवाइडेड बाय कॉल, अब से पुट की जो टोटल ओपन इंटरेस्ट है से 2 करोड़ है, और कॉल का टोटल ओपन इंटरेस्ट है से 1.90 lakhs. Sorry, 1 crore 90 lakhs, and this is 2 crores and this is 1 crore 90 lakhs. तो आप इसका if you calculate a ratio, so the ratio will be nearly 1 point some fraction. So it is approximately, आप देख रहे हैं कि रेशियो इक्वल है. तो जब रेशियो इक्वल है तो इसका मतलब इन्वेंट्री आपके पास कॉल की भी पुट की करीब करीब बराबर इन्वेंट्री है. When the inventory is equal, तो आप यू कैनॉट गेस कि कौन से प्रोडक्ट में कितनी डिमांड ज्यादा आएगी. सप्लाई डिमांड मिसमैच नहीं है. सो वी नीड टू फाइंड द सप्लाई डिमांड मिसमैच थ्रू अ कॉल एंड पुट ऑप्शन. Suppose call option, this put option is 3 crores, for example. How to find a mismatch? Suppose put option is 3 crores and call option is 1 crore. This is put, PCR put, and this is call. यानी कि पुट में इन्वेंट्री मेरे पास 3 करोड़ है और कॉल में मेरे पास 1 करोड़ है. सो द रेशियो इज 2. यानी देयर इज अ वेरी हाई इन्वेंट्री इन पुट्स. इसका मतलब मार्केट कैन फॉल डाउन बिकॉज पुट्स इज फॉर बियरिश सिनेरियो. और ज्यादातर इन्वेंट्री अगर पुट्स में है, कॉल्स में कम है and the ratio is more than 2, then this indicates that the market can go up. बिकॉज पुट ऑप्शन में ज्यादा इन्वेंट्री है तो पुट्स की वैल्यू नहीं बढ़ेगी, एंड द कॉल्स में लेस इन्वेंट्री है एंड द कॉल प्राइस कैन एप्रिसिएट. अब ये डेटा का चार्ट है जो अभी हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे ये डेटा देखा, ये PCR रेशियो अंडरस्टैंड किया. यू कैन प्लॉट अ लाइन चार्ट. एक्सेल में हम इसका लाइन चार्ट प्लॉट कर सकते हैं. जस्ट सेलेक्ट दिस डेटा एंड यू कैन प्लॉट अ लाइन चार्ट. इफ द ट्रेंड ऑफ दिस डेटा इज गोइंग डाउन, एक तो तरीका है कि आप इससे देख लें कि 0.71, 0.70, the data is going down. If the ratio is going down, so that indicates a trend कि strong down trend है डेटा का. So सेम सिमिलर आप ये एनालिसिस लाइन चार्ट पे भी कर सकते हैं सेम डेटा का कि इफ दिस डेटा इज डाउन ट्रेंडिंग और अप ट्रेंडिंग. तो यहाँ पे हम देख रहे हैं कि निफ्टी का जो डेटा है दिस इज डाउन ट्रेंडिंग एंड दिस इज बिलो 0. If this is below 0 and it is downtrending, so this indicates a strong downtrend into the market. अब ये डेटा क्या है, जब आप इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग करना चाह रहे हैं तो मार्केट में 9:15 बजे मार्केट खुलती है. 9:15 से 10:30 तक हमको एनालाइज करना है कि इन्वेंट्री किधर पड़ी है. इन्वेंट्री कॉल्स में ज्यादा पाइल्ड अप हो गई है, पुट्स में ज्यादा पाइल्ड अप हो गई है. उसके बाद 11 बजे हमें डिसीजन लेना है कि किस साइड का मूव आ सकता है. देन वी क्रिएट अ स्ट्रेटेजी. 11 बजे आपने डिसीजन लिया कि मार्केट कैन मूव अप टुडे बेस्ड ऑन द इन्वेंट्री, और उसके बाद आप कॉल ऑप्शन या पुट ऑप्शन या आप स्टॉक्स या इंडेक्स में ट्रेड कर सकते हैं. नाउ द सेकेंड पॉइंट यहाँ पे आती है कि आप एंट्री कब करेंगे, क्योंकि एक तो डायरेक्शन हमें मिल गया कि हमें मार्केट का सपोज डायरेक्शन हमें ये समझ में आ गया कि डायरेक्शन ऑफ द डायरेक्शन फॉर द डे इज अप. अब नाउ द सेकेंड पॉइंट इज हमें एंट्री कैसे लेनी चाहिए. क्या हमें एंट्री एट 10:30 जो भी प्राइस है उस प्राइस पे लेना चाहिए या थोड़ा वेट करके लेना चाहिए. उसके लिए हम ट्रिक्स यूज करते हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड VWAP, वॉल्यूम वेटेड एवरेज थ्योरी. व्हाट इज कॉल्ड वॉल्यूम वेटेड? वॉल्यूम वेटेड इज जस्ट, इसे हम ऐसे समझते हैं, देयर इज अ लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन. हम लोगों ने सुना होगा लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन. न्यूटन्स लॉ ऑफ मोशन भी हम लोगों ने सुना होगा. सो व्हाट इज लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन? लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन सेज दैट कि कोई भी चीज को आप ऊपर फेंकते हैं सो दैट कम्स डाउन टू द एवरेजेस. सो अगर ऊपर कोई चीज जाएगी तो वो नीचे आती है, देन ओनली इट कैन गो अप. सो बॉल को भी हम ऊपर फेंकते हैं, देन इट कम्स डाउन, देन इट जंप्स लाइक अ बॉल. सेम मार्केट में आप देखेंगे या जैसे ओशन का एग्जांपल लेते हैं. समुद्र में आपने देखा होगा कि वेव्स उठती है, देन इट कम्स टू द सी लेवल, देन इट बाउंसेस, देन इट कम्स टू द सी लेवल. स्टॉक मार्केट इज जस्ट लाइक अ ओशन, जस्ट लाइक अ इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग इज जस्ट लाइक अ ओशन. कई बार आप देखेंगे कि मार्केट में वेव्स जो हैं, अभी हम इलियट वेव में वो सब समझेंगे, नवजोत जी हमें इलियट वेव बताएंगे. बट मार्केट इज जस्ट लाइक अ वेव कि वेव ऊपर की उठ रही है, या हाई वेव है, लो टाइड है, हाई टाइड है. तो जब हम हाई टाइड में एंटर करते हैं, देन देयर इज अ रिस्क ऑफ गेटिंग टू द सी लेवल. यानी कि अगर आप हाई टाइड में इफ यू इंटर अ ट्रेड ऑन अ हाई टाइड, तो सी लेवल पे आने का आपका हमेशा चांसेस है. दैट मीन्स अगर भागती हुई मार्केट में हम इंटर करेंगे तो देयर इज ऑलवेज रिस्क ऑफ लूजिंग. तो अब मार्केट का सी लेवल क्या होगा? हाउ टू फाइंड अ सी लेवल फॉर द मार्केट? सो अगर आप सी लेवल पे एंट्री करते हैं, देन देयर इज अ लो रिस्क एंड देयर इज अ प्रोबेबिलिटी कि आप टाइड जब भी आएगा, जब भी मूवमेंट आएगी in the direction of PCR, you will make money. So market moves like zigzag, ऊपर जाती है, नीचे जाती है, ऊपर जाती है, नीचे जाती है. इस तरीके से मार्केट मूव करती है. So market just like sea में हम देखते हैं कि temperatures है, speed है, there is lot of droplets. There are many reasons why the sea में टाइड आती है, वेव्स आते हैं. सेम स्टॉक मार्केट में आप देखेंगे तो वहां पे मेजर फैक्टर्स क्या होता है? greed है, fear है, regret and hope. These all are the factors that creates waves in the stock market. अब वो स्टॉक मार्केट के वेव्स में हमें एंट्री कैसे लेनी है, उसके लिए हम यूज करते हैं VWAP, वॉल्यूम वेटेड एवरेज प्राइस. व्हाट इज वॉल्यूम वेटेड एवरेज प्राइस? सो इट इज VWAP. Simran, if I am late or if I'm getting delayed, please remind me.
No, sir, you are on time. Please
Okay.
take your time. We are enjoying the session, and I'm even receiving a few of messages from my friends that it's really great.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So VWAP, volume weighted average price. So there are 4 words in this. So one is V stands for volume. W stands for weighted. हम लोगों ने CA में भी कई बार weighted
Average
निकाला है, weighted average वगैरह निकाला है. And A stands for average and P stands for price. ठीक है. तो मार्केट में जो वॉल्यूम होता है, 9:15 बजे मार्केट खुलती है 9:15 पे, तो वॉल्यूम होने लगता है. वी ऑल स्टार्ट ट्रेडिंग, FIs trading, retailers are trading, we all chartered accountants are trading, there are many brokers are trading. So volumes हो रहा है. So every volume has a price. Every volume has a price. So we can calculate a weighted average volume price. अगर हम suppose I'm a small trader, I'm trading with say 100 shares, and FI is trading with 1 lakh shares. Brokers are trading with say 50,000 shares. So everybody is trading with a different quantity and a different price level. So अगर आप हर वॉल्यूम को कंबाइन करें और उसमें वेट लगा दें कि किसने कितनी क्वांटिटी ट्रेड करी, तो यू गेट अ वेटेड एवरेज प्राइस. नाउ द माइंड में अब ये क्वेश्चन आएगा कि इतनी बड़ी वॉल्यूम, इतना बड़ा प्राइस, हाउ टू कैलकुलेट? how we can calculate the volume weighted average price. So this volume weighted average price is calculated by a softwares. We don't have to calculate. This is available on most of the softwares, trading softwares. और अगर वो आपके पास नहीं है तो जो ट्रेडिंग टर्मिनल हम लोग यूज करते हैं उसमें आप देखेंगे एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस आपको मिलता है. इन ऑल द ट्रेडिंग टर्मिनल यू विल सी दैट देयर इज अ एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस. सो आप वॉल्यूम वेटेड की जगह एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस भी यूज कर सकते हो. दैट इज समवट वेरी क्लोज टू अ वॉल्यूम वेटेड एवरेज प्राइस. अब व्हाट इज दिस एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस और अ वॉल्यूम वेटेड एवरेज प्राइस? ये एक तरीके का सी लेवल है, क्योंकि जहां पे मैक्सिमम वॉल्यूम हुआ है, जिस अब भाई सी में क्या होता है, टाइड तो हर समय होती नहीं है ना भाई. कभी शाम को टाइड है, इवनिंग टाइड आई या मॉर्निंग टाइड हुई, और डे में सीज शांत है. तो एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस वो लेवल है जहां पे मैक्सिमम टाइम प्राइस ने बिताया है और फिर अचानक से टाइड आ गया और प्राइस मूव्स अवे फ्रॉम अ एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस, एंड देन इट कम्स बैक टू द एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस. सो होप कि आपको कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आया होगा कि एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस क्या होती है. इट इज अ मार्केट एवरेज. अब आप अगर सपोज अगर आप इंट्राडे में एंट्री करते हैं विच इज फार अवे फ्रॉम एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस, तो आपका रिस्क है कि नहीं है? बिकॉज अगर आप सी लेवल से बहुत ज्यादा दूर जाकर के एंट्री करेंगे देन देयर इज ऑलवेज रिस्क कि द प्राइस कैन टच द सी लेवल, बिकॉज लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन सेज दैट द एवरीथिंग हैज टू कम टू द एवरेजेस, और उस एवरेज के आसपास दिन में मार्केट आएगी. अब हमने जैसे अभी डेटा देखा, अब यहाँ पे आपको ये चार्ट में आपको दिखा रहा हूँ. यहाँ पे आप देखिए ये ब्लू लाइन दिख रही है, दिस इज अ एवरेज वीवैप लाइन. ये जो ब्लू लाइन है दिस इज अ वीवैप, वॉल्यूम वेटेड एवरेज प्राइस. और ये जो येलो लाइन दिख रही है दिस इज अ निफ्टी प्राइस, ये मार्केट का निफ्टी प्राइस है. ठीक है. अभी हमने प्रीवियस डेटा देखा था पीसीआर का. पीसीआर डेटा से हमें ये समझ में आया कि डेटा इज नेगेटिव बिकॉज द पीसीआर वाज 0.70. So market can fall down. हमारा इंटरप्रिटेशन क्या था? मार्केट कैन गो डाउन. अब ये दिस इज अ वीवैप लेवल, ये प्राइस है. अब हमें एंट्री कब लेनी है? दिस इज अ वन एंट्री पॉइंट. जब वीवैप के आसपास आ जाए वी विल सेल हियर. हम यहाँ पे शॉर्ट करेंगे, सेल करेंगे. सेकेंड एंट्री पॉइंट, अब सपोज यहाँ पे इफ यू मिस दिस एंट्री, प्राइस गिर के यहाँ आ गया, सो यहाँ पे आ गया, तो आप सी से कंपेयर करेंगे. टाइड चल रही है, ये एवरेज है और ये हाई टाइड है. सी लेवल यहाँ पे, दिस इज अ सी लेवल एंड टाइड्स यहाँ पे है. तो द प्रॉब्लम इज अगर आप यू इंटर हेयर, अगर आप यहाँ पे ट्रेड एंट्री करते हैं देन देयर इज ऑलवेज रिस्क की प्राइस कैन मूव टू द एवरेज, और यू कैन hit the stop loss on a bounce. So always, because intraday trading needs lot of patience. Intraday trading इतनी आसान नहीं है. What is required is a patience and discipline. Then you can make good money from a intraday trading. अब यहाँ से ये यहाँ पे आ गया. कई बार impatient होके हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम यहाँ पे ट्रेड एंट्री कर लेते हैं, यहाँ पे ट्रेड एंट्री कर लेते हैं, और पैनिक में then we exit around these levels. So what is the right entry level? We should wait, and we should try to enter around this level. So this was the first entry point. This is the second entry point. Suppose मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि आपने second entry point भी मिस कर दिया और the price यहाँ से यहाँ fall आ गया, यहाँ भी fall आ गया. अब now suppose अगर आप यहाँ पे entry करते हो, there is always risk of price moving to the VWAP. So हम वेट करते रहे. देखिए प्राइस लास्ट अटेम्प्ट अगेन इट केम टू दिस लेवल एवरेज एंड देयर वाज अ फाइनल फॉल. ठीक है. तो व्हाट आई मीन टू से हियर इज हमें पेशेंस रख करके एंट्री हमें वीवैप के आसपास ही करनी चाहिए. रादर हमें वीवैप से बहुत ज्यादा दूर नहीं लेना चाहिए. आइदर यू आर ट्रेडिंग रिलायंस, इन्फोसिस, टीसीएस, कोई भी एनी स्टॉक, इफ यू आर ट्रेडिंग फॉर इंट्राडे, यू शुड ट्राई टू इंटर closer to the VWAP level, and this theory works on a positional trading also. कई बार हम लोग देखते हैं कि शेयर प्राइस, why शेयर प्राइस moves in a say in a waves manner. हमने देखा हो कि रिलायंस तो ऐसा कभी भी नहीं है कि one way it goes up. निफ्टी भी कभी one way ऊपर नहीं जाती है. बैंक निफ्टी also does not go one way up. एक दिन 2 दिन ऊपर गया, एक दिन नीचे, 2 दिन ऊपर, एक दिन नीचे. The market moves in a waves. Why it moves in a wave? Because it comes to the VWAP, then bounce, comes to the VWAP, then bounce, comes to the VWAP, then bounce. So this theory is applicable not only for the intraday, it is applicable for the positional trading also. So अगर आप से suppose आपको Reliance खरीदना है for long term investing, so you can use this trick कि जब भी वो VWAP के आसपास आ जाए, volume weighted के आसपास आ जाए, you can add more at that level. So this is applicable for intraday also and for swing trading also. अब दिस इज अ सेकंड एग्जांपल आप देख सकते हैं कि ये बैंक निफ्टी का है. दिस इज अ निफ्टी बैंक में भी सिमिलर. दिस वाज अ 1 एंट्री पॉइंट आफ्टर ओपनिंग. अब इसमें ये ध्यान रखना है कि हमें 10:30 11 बजे तक ट्रेड में एंट्री नहीं लेना है, बिकॉज अगर हम 11 के पहले ट्रेड में एंट्री लेंगे तो हमारे पास मेच्योर डेटा नहीं है, बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव अ सफिशिएंट इन्वेंट्री हमारे पास क्रिएट नहीं हुई है. बिकॉज अगर से आप 9:15 पे ही अगर ट्रेड एंट्री ले लेंगे तो 2-4 मिनट में इन्वेंट्री तो आपकी क्रिएट नहीं होगी, और इन्वेंट्री अगर एडिक्वेट नहीं होगी तो आपकी एनालिसिस राइट नहीं होगी. सो हमें 2-2.5 घंटे मार्केट को देने होंगे टू क्रिएट द इन्वेंट्री ऑफ कॉल्स एंड पुट. और फिर अब उस इन्वेंट्री को हम एनालाइज करेंगे कि वो इन्वेंट्री कैसे ड्यूरिंग द डे चेंज हो रही है. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि 11 बजे इन्वेंट्री आपकी कुछ और थी और 2 बजे इन्वेंट्री कैन change suddenly because कुछ और मार्केट पार्टिसिपेंट्स आ गए. देयर कैन बी अ चेंज इन इन्वेंट्री, दैट इज आल्सो पॉसिबल. ऐसा नहीं है कि इन्वेंट्री जो 11 बजे बनी है द इम्बैलेंस विल बी सेम एट 12 और 1. द डेटा कैन चेंज ड्यूरिंग द मार्केट, सो वी शुड बी वेरी एक्टिवली वॉचिंग द डेटा. अगर इन्वेंट्री चेंज हो रही है तो हम पोजीशन उसी हिसाब से चेंज करेंगे. अगर इट इज मूविंग टुवर्ड्स अ बुलिश मार्केट, लाइक पुट्स में इन्वेंट्री बढ़ रही है, कॉल्स में इन्वेंट्री घट रही है, देन वी विल मूव द पोजीशंस अकॉर्डिंगली. सो वी शुड बी वेरी केयरफुली वॉचिंग दिस डेटा एवरी टाइम, और फिर हम VWAP के आसपास ट्रेड में एंट्री करने की कोशिश करते हैं. सो ये बैंक निफ्टी में भी आप देखिए कि बैंक निफ्टी में ये एंट्री लेवल है, और अगर आप पुट ऑप्शंस में ट्रेड कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ से यहाँ पे इफ दिस यू गेट दिस मूव, तो यहाँ पे बड़े आराम से 200 रुपए की अगर आप पुट लेंगे तो दिस कैन मूव टू 250-270 रुपीज. ये छोटे से मूव में आपको मिल जाएगी. दैट मीन्स अप्रोक्सीमेटली 30-40% का गेन आपको ऑप्शन में यहाँ से मिलता है. अब ये सपोज आप यहाँ पे एंट्री करते हो, दिस द प्रॉब्लम विद मेनी ट्रेडर्स आर दे इंटर with a fear or a panic or in a aggression. तो यहाँ पे आप एंट्री करोगे तो you will hit the stop loss. ये बाउंस हुआ because the price moved to the averages and you hit the stop loss. So यहाँ पे this is the third entry point. यहाँ पे आप एंट्री करते हो, then you get a sudden move. देखिए फटाक से there is a move of 200-300 point into the bank nifty. So यहाँ पे लर्निंग यही है, 2 इंपॉर्टेंट लर्निंग है. वन इज कि आपको पीसीआर का इन्वेंट्री 11 बजे के बाद देखना है, और उस इन्वेंट्री को हर 15 मिनट में ऑब्जर्व करना है कि हाउ द इन्वेंट्री इज मूविंग. भाई कौन सा मेरा शॉर्ट सप्लाई हो रहा है, कौन सा मेरा ओवर सप्लाई आ रहा है, और फिर उसके हिसाब से हम अपनी पोजीशंस को डिसाइड करते हैं. दूसरा, हमारी एंट्री हमेशा VWAP पे होनी चाहिए. अगर आप VWAP से दूर एंट्री करोगे तो आपका रिस्क ऑफ लूजिंग इज हायर. तीसरी बात, ये जो मॉडल अभी हमने डिस्कस किया, ये आपको कई बार ऐसा हुआ कि आपको एंट्री भी नहीं मिलेगी. प्राइस समटाइम्स से आउट ऑफ 22 ट्रेडिंग सेशंस इन अ मंथ में भी 3-4 ट्रेडिंग सेशन ऐसे होंगे कि मार्केट डज नॉट बाउंस टू द VWAP. वो VWAP पे आएगा ही नहीं. it will keep on going down or it will keep on going up. जब कई बार बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग डेटा रहेगा तो ऐसा आपको मिलेगा कि कई बार एंट्री नहीं मिलेगी. उस समय आप चार्टिंग पैटर्न्स या कैंडल स्टिक को देख करके आप एंट्री ले सकते हो. बट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम मतलब 22 ट्रेडिंग सेशन में से आप 17-18 ट्रेडिंग टाइम्स आपको ये एंट्री मिल जाएगी. दूसरा, द सेकेंड पॉइंट इज द हिट रेशियो विल बी नियरली 70%, यानी 10 में से आपको 3 ट्रेड तो लूजिंग होंगे. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि यू विल मेक मनी इन ऑल द ट्रेड्स, बट ये है कि 60-70% विनिंग प्रोबेबिलिटी होगी, एंड यू विल हैव अ सर्टेन रूल्स एंड डिसिप्लिन विद विच यू विल बी ट्रेडिंग इन इंट्राडे ऑप्शंस. ये मैंने एक बाय का एग्जांपल लिया है. ये निफ्टी का है, और आप देख सकते हैं कि पीसीआर पुट कॉल रेशियो, अगर इन्वेंट्री मेरी पॉजिटिव साइड है तो आप देख सकते हैं कि ये जो एवरेजेस है, दिस वाज अ 1 एंट्री पॉइंट एंड दिस इज अ सेकेंड एंट्री पॉइंट. ठीक है, ये तो अगर आप यहाँ पे एंट्री लेते हो देन यू गेट दिस मूव. सेकेंड इज यू गेट दिस मूव. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जब VWAP से बहुत ज्यादा दूर चली जाती है प्राइस, देन वी बुक प्रॉफिट एंड वी वेट फॉर अ VWAP टू री इंटर. तो दिन में आपको 2-3 मौके ऐसे मिल जाते हैं जहां पे आप प्रॉफिट बना लेते हो. अगर आप वीवैप थ्योरी को यूज करते हैं तो। ये एक और एग्जांपल है जहां पे आप देख सकते हैं वीवैप से देयर इज ऑलवेज बाउंस कम्स फ्रॉम अ वीवैप। द लॉजिक इज, ये जो प्राइस है वीवैप, व्हाट इज वीवैप? वीवैप इज अ वॉल्यूम वेटेड एवरेज प्राइस। वॉल्यूम वेटेड एवरेज प्राइस यानी मार्केट में जितना भी वॉल्यूम हुआ है उसका एवरेज प्राइस है। तो इस पे सपोर्ट लेना, इट इज वेरी लॉजिकल why the price will take support at this level, because this is a most reliable price where the most of the trades has taken today। और फिर मार्केट का डायरेक्शन हमें पता है पीसीआर से कि इन्वेंट्री किधर है, उस इन्वेंट्री से हम डायरेक्शन पता कर लिए, फिर हम एंट्री हमें समझ में आ गई कहाँ पे ये लेना है। बड़ा सिंपल, ये 2 रूल फॉलो करेंगे। अब तीसरा है कि स्टॉप लॉस हम कहाँ पे रखेंगे, क्योंकि आपने एंट्री कर ली यहाँ पे, तो भाई अभिमन्यु के द्वार में तो हम घुस गए, चक्रव्यूह में हम यहाँ पे घुस गए, बट हमें निकलने का रास्ता पता होना चाहिए कि इफ द ट्रेड गोज रॉन्ग हमें निकलना कहाँ पे है। सो स्टॉप लॉस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। विदाउट स्टॉप लॉस आपको ऑप्शन में ट्रेडिंग नहीं करनी है, ये आपका नियम होना चाहिए कि बिना स्टॉप लॉस के मुझे ट्रेड करना ही नहीं है। ये मैंने लास्ट 20 साल में ये सीख लिया है कि जब भी स्टॉप लॉस फॉलो नहीं किया, पूरा का पूरा कैपिटल वी कैन लूज, वी कैन वाइप आउट द कैपिटल। सो आप रूल नंबर 1, रूल नंबर 2 भूल के, rule number 3 is most important, never trade without stop loss in options because you can lose the entire capital। The second thing is, अगर आप naked options कर रहे हैं, weekly options, never carry the overnight। आप you can carry a spreads, hedging की strategies आप carry कर सकते हैं like bull spreads, bear spreads, straddles, strangles, कई सारी hedge strategy options में होती है which you can carry it overnight based on the डायरेक्शन। बट अगर आप नेकेड ऑप्शंस कर रहे हैं, यानी कि प्लेन वेनिला, अगर आप कॉल एंड पुट खरीद रहे हैं, नेवर एवर कैरी ओवरनाइट। और लॉस में है तो कभी उसको आप कैरी मत करो, यू विल लूज 100%। ये मैंने अपने एक्सपीरियंस से सीखा है। सो नेवर कैरी अ लूजिंग ट्रेड, एटलीस्ट नेकेड ऑप्शंस ओवरनाइट। सो अब नाउ चक्रव्यूह में हम जब घुस गए तो हमारा स्टॉप लॉस क्या होगा? स्टॉप लॉस वुड बी द डे लो। यानी कि यहाँ पे इस एग्जांपल में आप नीचे देख सकते हैं डे लो क्या है। डे लो मेरा ये, दिस इज द डे लो लेवल। अगर आप यहाँ पे वीवैप पे एंट्री करते हो तो अगर प्राइस इसके नीचे चला जाए, सपोज द प्राइस गोज बिलो डे लो, यू शुड एग्जिट द ट्रेड बाय बुकिंग योर लॉसेस। किसी भी पोजीशन में सपोज आपने यहाँ पे एंट्री करी, ये आपका डे लो है, दिस इज अ डे लो, दिस इज योर स्टॉप लॉस, आपको एग्जिट करना है। सपोज आप सेल साइड में हो, आप यहाँ पे एंट्री कर रहे हो, दिस इज योर सेल पोजीशन, सो योर स्टॉप लॉस विल बी डे हाई। यहाँ पे आपको स्टॉप लॉस रखना है। अगर प्राइस गलती से इसके ऊपर चला जाए तो आपको स्टॉप लॉस लेके एग्जिट कर जाना है। सो अभी हमने 3 पॉइंट पे फोकस किया। पॉइंट नंबर 1, मार्केट का डायरेक्शन क्या है। पॉइंट नंबर 2, हमें एंट्री कहाँ पे लेना है। और पॉइंट नंबर 3, हमारा स्टॉप लॉस क्या होना चाहिए। ये 3 चीज अगर आप फॉलो करते हैं सिंपल से, तो आप इंट्राडे में कम से कम आप मतलब यू कैन, अब हम पानी में उतरने को तैयार हैं। जैसे हम, अगर हमें तैरना सीखना है और इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग करनी है तो 1 सीढ़ी उतरेंगे, 2 सीढ़ी उतरेंगे, 3 सीढ़ी, फिर हम देखेंगे पानी कितना गहरा है, देन वी विल स्लोली स्टार्ट स्विमिंग। तो जो फर्स्ट सीढ़ी है, अब हमें समझ में आ गई कि हम 3 चीज फॉलो करेंगे तो हम 1 सीढ़ी के अंदर जा सकते हैं। फिर धीरे धीरे छोटे छोटे कैपिटल से यू कैन ट्राई ट्रेडिंग, एंड देन अगर आपका प्रॉफिट बनने लगता है देन यू कैन स्टार्ट इंक्रीजिंग योर कैपिटल साइज। अब फटाफट हम थोड़ा सा इंडिया विक्स वगैरह डिस्कस कर लेते हैं। इंडिया विक्स इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर। ये आपको लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टिंग एंड शॉर्ट टर्म ट्रेडिंग दोनों के लिए काफी हेल्प करेगी। इंडिया विक्स क्या होती है? दिस इज अ विक्स इंडिकेटर, यानी अगर विक्स वॉलेटिलिटी इंडेक्स है, अगर विक्स ऊपर जा रही है तो इसका मतलब मार्केट में फियर है। विक्स यानी वॉलेटिलिटी, अगर वॉलेटिलिटी ज्यादा है यानी कि इफ द मार्केट विक्स इज गोइंग अप, सो दैट इंडिकेट्स अ फियर इनटू द मार्केट, एंड विक्स और मार्केट का इनवर्स कोरिलेशन होता है। अब मार्केट अगर विक्स ऊपर जा रही है तो हम समझेंगे मार्केट नीचे जा सकती है। अभी विक्स 11 पे है और स्टेबल है। लास्ट 4-5 महीनों से विक्स 15 के नीचे है और इट इज ट्रेडिंग बिटवीन 10 and 15। सो दिस इज अ क्लियर सिनेरियो कि मार्केट में कोई डर नहीं है, आप यू कैन स्टे इन्वेस्टेड। कोई भी फॉल पे आप और इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो। इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़े घटे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, फेड की क्या मीटिंग आएगी, अगर कुछ भी होना होगा तो विक्स आपको प्रायर इंडिकेशन दे देगी कि कुछ मार्केट में पैनिक हो रहा है, देन विक्स विल स्टार्ट राइजिंग। अगर आप यूएस का देखना चाहते हैं तो S&P विक्स है यूएस के लिए, यूएस मार्केट अगर आप ट्रैक कर रहे हैं, और इंडिया की विक्स होती है NSE विक्स इंडेक्स, जो NSE की वेबसाइट में अवेलेबल है। तो अगर आप लॉन्ग टाइम इन्वेस्टिंग करते हैं, विक्स अगर 20 के नीचे है तो आपको पोर्टफोलियो को रिड्यूस कर देना चाहिए, और अगर विक्स 20 के ऊपर है तो पोर्टफोलियो रिड्यूस कर देना है, और विक्स 20 के नीचे है तो पोर्टफोलियो हमें एक्यूमुलेट करते रहना है हर डिप पे। ये बड़ा सिंपल थ्योरी है। इंट्राडे में भी हम इसको विक्स को यूज करते हैं कि अगर इंट्राडे में विक्स इज डाउन तो मार्केट में कोई पैनिक नहीं है, क्योंकि अगर पीसीआर रेशियो से बाय का सिग्नल है और विक्स भी नेगेटिव है तो इसका मतलब क्लियर सिग्नल है कि मार्केट में ऊपर की तरफ मूव आएगी। और इंट्राडे में सपोज विक्स ऊपर है, विक्स इज पॉजिटिव इन इंट्राडे और पीसीआर इज नेगेटिव इन इंट्राडे, सो दैट इंडिकेट्स कि इंट्राडे में कुछ मार्केट में करेक्शन या सेलिंग आ सकती है। इसको हम इस तरीके से ट्रेडिंग में यूज करते हैं। कुछ मिस्टेक्स हैं जो हमें इंट्राडे में अवॉइड करना चाहिए। एक तो ट्रेडिंग न्यूज पे कभी भी ट्रेडिंग नहीं करना चाहिए। जो भी न्यूज आप टीवी में देखते हैं या न्यूज़पेपर पे देखते हैं, दैट इज अगर आप उसके ऊपर इंट्राडे ट्रेड कर रहे हो तो यू विल मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम यू विल लूज मनी, बिकॉज न्यूज आर ऑलवेज टू मैनिपुलेट द मूव। ये मैंने अपने एक्सपीरियंस से सीखा है। सो इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग करना है तो आपको न्यूज़पेपर या टीवी या वो सब में अवॉइड करना चाहिए। इफ यू लुक एट अ टीवी और आपसे रिजल्ट आया, रिजल्ट में आपने कई बार देखा होगा कि रिलायंस का रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छा आया, प्राइस नीचे चला जाता है। इन्फोसिस का रिजल्ट अच्छा आया, मार्जिन इंप्रूव हुआ, स्टॉक प्राइस विल गो डाउन। सो बिकॉज उसमें क्या होता है कि वो प्री रिजल्ट्स पोजीशंस कई बार क्रिएट हो जाती है पॉजिटिव न्यूज पे। मतलब इसमें कहावत भी है कि बाय ऑन रूमर्स एंड सेल ऑन न्यूज, तो सेम ऐसे ही होता है। सो ऑलवेज अवॉइड ट्रेडिंग ऑन न्यूज। पॉजिटिव न्यूज पे ऐसा नहीं है कि यू शुड एक्यूमुलेट। आपके पास फैक्ट्स है, लुक एट द फैक्ट्स, लुक एट द इन्वेंटरीज, लुक एट एवरेजेस एंड देन ओनली ट्रेड इन इंट्राडे। न्यूज पे अगर आप ट्रेड करेंगे तो यू विल गेट कंफ्यूज्ड। You should never trade in intraday without your homework and preparation. अब आपका होमवर्क क्या होगा? होमवर्क आपका ये होगा कि क्या डेटा बना, 9:15 में क्या मार्केट ओपनिंग हुई, 9:15 से 10:30 तक क्या डेटा बन रहा है। दैट इज योर होमवर्क फॉर 2-3 घंटे का, एंड देन यू ट्रेड। बिकॉज कई ऐसे ट्रेडर्स होते हैं कि वो अपने मन से विदाउट एनालाइजिंग एनीथिंग, without doing any homework, without any logic, they buy call options or put option and they lose money. अभी सेबी ने एक रिपोर्ट पब्लिश किया था और उस रिपोर्ट में सेबी ने ये बताया, और सेबी हैज एनालाइज्ड द डेटा दैट डेरिवेटिव मार्केट में आउट ऑफ 10 ट्रेडर्स 9 ट्रेडर्स आर लूजिंग मनी। 10 में से 9 लोग स्टॉक मार्केट में ऑप्शंस में पैसा लूज करते हैं। दिस इज अ फैक्ट पब्लिश्ड बाय सेबी। तो हमें इस बात का भी ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि दिस इज नॉट अ वेरी इजी गेम, बिकॉज आउट ऑफ 10 9 आर लूजिंग मनी। सो वी शुड do this only with the homework और with a very मतलब छोटे छोटे कैपिटल से ही करना चाहिए, अदरवाइज देयर इज अ वेरी रिस्क ऑफ लूजिंग मनी ऑल्सो। सो आप ट्रिक्स को समझ के धीरे धीरे करें तो यू कैन मेक मनी एंड वी कैन फॉल इन दिस 1% कैटेगरी, यानी कि जो 10 में से 9 लूज कर रहे हैं बट एटलीस्ट 1% इज मेकिंग मनी, 10% इज मेकिंग मनी। तो अगर हमें उस कैटेगरी में आना है तो हमें डिसिप्लिन है, पेशेंस है, स्टॉप लॉस है, ट्रिक्स है, ये सारा फॉलो करना पड़ेगा। स्टॉप लॉस के बिना ट्रेड नहीं करना है। फोमो ट्रेडिंग यानी कि अपने दोस्त के किसी के बोलने पे हमें स्टॉक नहीं लेना चाहिए। वी ऑल आर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स, तो हमें एक तो पता है कि भाई वैल्यूएशन क्या है, स्टॉक कौन सा अच्छा है कौन सा खराब है, तो हम वी कैन डू अ फंडामेंटल एनालिसिस, दैट इज आवर एक्सपर्टीज। दूसरा, अगर हम ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हैं तो ट्रेडिंग में हमें फैक्ट्स देख के ट्रेड करना चाहिए, ना कि रूमर्स, ना कि न्यूज, ना कि किसी बोलने के ऊपर। 2-3 स्लाइड में मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन खत्म हो जाएगी, देन वी विल मूव टू द क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन। रिस्क मैनेजमेंट में ये 5 पॉइंट सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है। कोई भी अगर हम ट्रेड लेते हैं तो उसमें ट्रेड में ये 5 ही कंडीशन हो सकती है। पहला, हमारा ट्रेड ब्रेक इवन निकलेगा। अगर कोई प्रॉफिट नहीं हुआ, चलो ब्रेक इवन है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। इफ द ट्रेड इज ब्रेक इवन देयर इज नो पेन। स्मॉल प्रॉफिट देयर इज नो पेन, छोटा प्रॉफिट है, हैप्पी। छोटा लॉस, वेरी गुड। बिग प्रॉफिट, वी आर वेरी हैप्पी। ये बिग लॉस ये हमें अवॉइड करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अगर हम इंट्राडे ट्रेड कर रहे हैं एंड इफ यू बुक अ बिग लॉस, सो अगले दिन के लिए वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू ट्रेड। उससे क्या हमारी साइकोलॉजी भी खराब होगी। बिग लॉस इज अ पेन पॉइंट, वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू कंसंट्रेट ऑन अदर वर्क्स ऑल्सो। अगर हमारा बड़ा लॉस हो जाएगा तो हम अपने काम पे भी फोकस नहीं कर पाएंगे, अगले दिन ट्रेडिंग भी नहीं कर पाएंगे। सो वी शुड अवॉइड दिस बिग लॉस। यानी बिग लॉस हम कैसे अवॉइड करेंगे? ये वी विल अवॉइड बाय फॉलोइंग अ स्टॉप लॉस। यानी जैसे डे लो का स्टॉप लॉस या डे हाई का स्टॉप लॉस अभी हमने डिस्कस किया, हमने ये डिस्कस किया कि एंट्री हम वीवैप पे करेंगे और डे लो या डे हाई का स्टॉप लॉस रखेंगे। अगर हम ये प्रिंसिपल फॉलो करेंगे तो वी विल नॉट लूज मोर देन 2% ऑफ द कैपिटल इन वन ट्रेड। हमारा 2-2.5% से ज्यादा कभी भी लॉस नहीं होगा कैपिटल पे। अगर मेरा 2% का एक ट्रेड पे लॉस होता है तो मेरे पास 50 ट्रेड है लॉस देने के लिए, और ऐसा कभी भी नहीं होगा कि 50 के 50 ट्रेड मेरे लूजिंग होंगे अगर मैं इस प्रिंसिपल को फॉलो करता हूं तो। सो देयर इज अ प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ मेकिंग मनी इफ वी फॉलो दिस प्रिंसिपल। सो सर्टेन गोल्डन रूल्स टू कंक्लूड माय प्रेजेंटेशन, कि एक तो हमें पीसीआर का ट्रेंड फाइंड करना है विच विल गिव यू अ ओवरऑल ट्रेंड। दूसरा, विक्स को यूज कर सकते हैं, विक्स एंड पीसीआर डेटा। विक्स अवेलेबल आपको एनएससी की वेबसाइट पे है, और ऑप्शन चेन का डेटा भी आपको एनएससी की वेबसाइट पे है। ये रॉ डेटा अवेलेबल है। कुछ अगर आपको स्पेशलाइज डेटा चाहिए तो यू नीड टू गो फॉर द सॉफ्टवेयर्स। आपको थर्ड पॉइंट है कि एंट्री हमेशा आपको वीवैप के आसपास करना है विच इज एवरेज प्राइस। स्टॉप लॉस लेवल आपका क्या होगा, डे लो और डे हाई विल बी स्टॉप लॉस लेवल। हाँ, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, अवॉइड डीप आउट ऑफ मनी ऑप्शंस, यानी कि जो दूर की ऑप्शंस है उसे हम अवॉइड करना चाहिए बाइंग के लिए, क्योंकि डीप जो दूर वाली ऑप्शंस होती है उसमें केवल टाइम वैल्यू होती है, और दैट ऑप्शंस डिकेज विद द टाइम। अगर प्राइस में मूवमेंट आएगा देन ऑल्सो यू विल नॉट मेक मनी। सो द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक मेनी ट्रेडर डज इज दे बाय डीप आउट ऑफ मनी ऑप्शंस, दूर की ऑप्शंस खरीद लेते हैं। सो ऑलवेज ट्राई टू ट्रेड इन एट द मनी ऑप्शंस, नियर बाई जो ऑप्शंस है उसमें ही ट्रेड करना है। ट्रेड आफ्टर 11-12 बजे के बाद ट्रेड करना चाहिए। वाई ट्रेड आफ्टर 11? क्योंकि 9:15 से 11 बजे तक हमें ये फाइंड आउट करना है कि इन्वेंट्री का इम्बैलेंस कहाँ पे है। यानी कॉल का मेरा एक स्टॉक यार्ड है और एक मेरा पुट का स्टॉक यार्ड है, दोनों में इन्वेंट्री 9:15 बजे से 11 बजे तक आ रही है। नाउ आई हैव टू फाइंड द इम्बैलेंस, किधर पे इम्बैलेंस है, देन ओनली आई विल बी एबल टू टेक अ डिसीजन। तो इसलिए हमें 12 बजे के 11 बजे के बाद इंट्राडे ट्रेड लेना चाहिए। मस्ट फॉलो द स्टॉप लॉस, अवॉइड ओवर लिवरेजिंग, हमें बहुत ज्यादा ओवर लिवरेजिंग नहीं करना चाहिए। यानी कि अगर सपोज मेरे पास से जो भी कैपिटल है, वन ट्रेड हमें 10% से ज्यादा कैपिटल साइज हमें एक ट्रेड में नहीं डालना चाहिए। अगर हम ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हैं तो कैपिटल का मेरा 10% से ज्यादा ऑप्शंस में नहीं होना चाहिए। थैंक यू। अगर आप मुझे फॉलो करना चाहते हैं तो एक इंडेक्स टेलीग्राम पे एक चैनल है, इंडेक्स ट्रेडिंग विद सीए नितिन मुरार का, जिसमें 1,47,000 सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं, जिसका टेलीग्राम लिंक ये दिया हुआ है। ये आप वहाँ पे ज्वाइन करके डेटाज वगैरह जो भी मेरी ऑब्जर्वेशंस होती है मैं शेयर करता हूँ। जो डेटा अभी हमने डिस्कस किया वो मैं वहाँ पे शेयर करता हूँ। कई हमारे वेबिनार्स होते रहते हैं, वो आप वहाँ पे देख सकते हैं। दिस इज फ्री चैनल, कोई भी ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। और ट्विटर पे यू कैन फॉलो मी ऑन ट्विटर, नितिन मुरारका @SMC. So thank you for my side. We can move to the question answer Simran session. Thank you.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, the first question is from Rahul, and he is asking to show emo of life such as VIX, etc. on a NSE website.
One second. One second. Let me share the screen. With NSE India option chain data, this Google website is visible, Simran?
Yes, sir.
Okay. ये देखिए, मैंने अभी ये ऑप्शन चेन डेटा आ गया। यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं दिस इज चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट। ये निफ्टी का डेटा हमें दिख रहा है, निफ्टी। ठीक है, यहाँ पे एक्सपायरी डेट आती है। यू कैन सेलेक्ट अ सिंबल। तो यहाँ पे यू कैन सेलेक्ट निफ्टी, बैंक निफ्टी, कुछ भी आप ले सकते हैं। यहाँ पे सेलेक्टेड इन निफ्टी, क्योंकि हमने सर्च में निफ्टी किया था। एक्सपायरीज आती है 8 जून की लेटेस्ट एक्सपायरी है, वीकली एक्सपायरी। देन वी हैव 15 जून, 22 जून। तो 8 जून को आप जाते हैं और 8 जून को आप डेटा यहाँ पे सेलेक्ट कर आ गया। तो अब ये देखिए, यहाँ पे ओपन इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है, ये लॉट्स के टर्म्स में आ रहा है। दिस इज अ लॉट्स। अभी हमने वहां पे जो आपको दिखाया था दैट वाज अ नंबर ऑफ शेयर। जो लॉट साइज है वो 50 का लॉट साइज है। तो ये जो एक्सचेंज हमें डेटा दे रही है दिस इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ नंबर ऑफ लॉट्स। अब जैसे यहाँ पे हम आते हैं, ये फर्स्ट कॉलम हो गया OI। तो OI इज जो आपके पास ऑलरेडी स्टॉक में पड़ा हुआ है पुराना, दैट इज कॉल्ड ओपन इंटरेस्ट, OI। पुराना मेरे पास स्टॉक इज ओआई। चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट, नया नई न्यू इन्वेंट्री, यानी आज जो नया इन्वेंट्री आया, यानी कि सपोज मेरे पास ऑलरेडी कल का पुराना स्टॉक से 20,000 करोड़ का माल, मेरे सपोज मेरे पास से 1 लाख कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स पड़ा हुआ है, और आज मेरे पास 50,000 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स और इन्वेंट्री आ गई कॉल्स की। तो इंट्राडे में आपको पुराने स्टॉक से मतलब नहीं है, आपको फोकस करना है आज का क्या इन्वेंट्री है। सो ये पॉइंट बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो ये जो ओआई है, दिस इज अ ओल्ड इन्वेंट्री जो आपके स्टॉक यार्ड में पड़ी है। चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट इज आज की इन्वेंट्री की नया इन्वेंट्री आपका क्या आया है। सो ये देखिए यहाँ पे लॉट्स के टर्म्स में दे रहे हैं। अब देखिए यहाँ पे हम, ये वॉल्यूम आ गया, वॉल्यूम से अभी हमें मतलब नहीं है, वॉल्यूम को हम अलग तरीके से यूज करते हैं। यहाँ पे दिस इज अ आईवी, वॉलेटिलिटी इंडेक्स जिसके बारे में मैं बात कर रहा था, ये स्ट्राइक वाइज आईवी हो गई। ये एलटीपी है, चेंज प्राइस, बिड क्वांटिटी, बिड आस्क, और ये स्ट्राइक्स हो गई। तो अब अभी जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मार्केट्स अभी चल रही है 18,550 पे, दिस इज एट द मनी, अप्रोक्सीमेटली मार्केट अभी यहीं पे है। तो आप ये देख सकते हैं 18,500 की जो इन्वेंट्री है, चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट, चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट कितना दिख रहा है मुझे, 11,000 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, राइट सिमरन? ये दिख रहा है हमें 11,000 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट,
यस सर,
है ना? ये कॉल्स का है, ऊपर ये देखिए कॉल्स लिखी है ना, ये कॉल्स।
यस सर।
अब हम पुट साइड देखते हैं कि इन्वेंट्री पुट साइड कितनी है, तो उससे हमें आइडिया लगेगा। सेम स्ट्राइक की 18,500 की, एक मिनट, 18,500 की इन्वेंट्री अब हम ये देखते हैं। 18,500 की ये कितनी है, 39,000, राइट?
यस सर,
39,000 18,500 की। और इसकी आप देखिए पुट साइड में कितनी है, चेंज इन ओपन इंटरेस्ट कितनी दिख रही है, 93,000। तो अब बताइए इन्वेंट्री किस में ज्यादा है, पुट में या कॉल में?
पुट में सर।
पुट में। तो जिसकी इन्वेंट्री ज्यादा होगी उसकी डिमांड ज्यादा होगी, उसका प्राइस मतलब जिसमें इन्वेंट्री ज्यादा है, यानी कि सप्लाई ज्यादा है, इन्वेंट्री ज्यादा का मतलब सप्लाई ज्यादा है, तो वैल्यू उसकी वैल्यू उसकी बनेगी, या जिसमें इन्वेंट्री कम है उसका प्राइस हमें ज्यादा अच्छा मिलेगा?
जिसकी जिसकी इन्वेंट्री कम है सर, उसका प्राइस हमें ज्यादा अच्छा
मिलेगा। तो अब हम यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं कि मेरी पुट में इन्वेंट्री 93,000 है, और कॉल में मेरी इन्वेंट्री कितनी है, 39,000, यानी कॉल में शॉर्ट सप्लाई है।
यस।
तो हमें क्या लेना चाहिए, कॉल।
यस।
कि भाई जिसमें शॉर्ट सप्लाई है भाव तो उसी का बढ़ेगा ना।
बिल्कुल सर।
ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे ये डेटा देख के हम ये पकड़ लेंगे कि शॉर्ट सप्लाई कॉल में है और ओवर सप्लाई पुट में है, तो हमें कॉल साइड फोकस करना है, ना कि पुट साइड फोकस करना है। ये तो मैंने एक स्ट्राइक को आपको एनालाइज करके बताया, आप इसमें मल्टीपल स्ट्राइक्स को कम एनालाइज कर सकते हैं। तो क्लियर हो गया कि एनएससी की वेबसाइट से हम ये डेटा देख सकते हैं। और इसमें देखिए आईवी दिख रही है, विक्स की जो मैंने बात करी थी, विक्स देखिए 9 चल रही है, ये एट द मनी की। और ओवरऑल जो विक्स एनएससी की वेबसाइट में आती है, वो हम एनएससी में ऐसे ही हम गूगल जाते हैं, आपको विक्स भी मैं दिखाता हूँ, होम पे आते हैं हम। तो होम पे यहाँ पे विक्स इंडेक्स कहीं हमें दिखेगा, ऑल इंडेक्स, व्यू ऑल इंडेक्स, ये देखिए इंडिया विक्स दिख रहा है, ये इंडिया विक्स हमें,
यस इंडिया विक्स
है ना, ये 11.13 चल रहा है। आप इस पे क्लिक करो, इसका पूरा डेफिनेशन है, कैसे बना है, क्या इसकी फॉर्मुलेशन है, आप इसको स्टडी कर सकते हैं। बट इंडिया विक्स इज ट्रेडिंग एट अराउंड 11, और ये देखिए 4% डाउन है। चेंजेस कितना दिख रहा है, 4% डाउन है,
4% डाउन।
तो अगर अब आप यहाँ पे इंटरप्रिटेशन ये करो कि इंडिया विक्स इज डाउन 4%, यानी कि मार्केट में फियर नहीं है, पैनिक नहीं है, ठीक है, बिकॉज विक्स क्या है, विक्स इज अ इंडिकेटर ऑफ फियर। और दूसरा आपने इन्वेंट्री देखी कि भाई इन्वेंट्री आपकी पुट में ज्यादा है और कॉल में कम है, तो ये क्लियरिटी आपको मिल गई ना कि पॉसिबल डायरेक्शन क्या है, ऊपर जा सकती है मार्केट, तो हमें कॉल ऑप्शन लेना है। तो बड़ा सिंपल, मतलब विदाउट हैविंग कोई भी मेजर टूल होने, मतलब आप एक सिंपल तरीके से इसको एनालाइज करके किसी भी जगह पे आप एक व्यू निकाल सकते हो मार्केट का। बाकी कॉम्प्लेक्स तो बहुत सारी स्ट्रेटजीज हो सकती है, आप चार्टिंग स्टडी करो, कई चीजें हो सकती है, बट जो सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ नॉलेज है उसको मैंने यहाँ पे देने की कोशिश करी है, जो आप बड़े आसानी से निकाल सकते हो। क्लियर हो गया एग्जाम्पल ये?
यस सर।
ठीक है, नेक्स्ट।
Sir, next question is from Ankita, and I guess it's pretty answered. What is the technical system and items required for technical system? You have already explained that to us in every bit you can. And next question is very general question, and it is full-time trading as a good option career for a young CAs?
मैं दोनों क्वेश्चन का आंसर देता हूँ। एक तो जैसे उन्होंने पूछा कि सॉफ्टवेयर्स क्या चाहिए, तो आपको सॉफ्टवेयर्स के लिए फैल्कन एक सॉफ्टवेयर है जो आप यूज कर सकते हो, बहुत ज्यादा कॉस्टली सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं है, टेक्निकल एनालिसिस का अच्छा सॉफ्टवेयर है. You can go and search Falcon. It will cost you nearly 40-45,000 per annum. तो वो आप एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं. दूसरा, फुल टाइम ट्रेडिंग में हमें नहीं घुसना चाहिए, क्योंकि देखिए ट्रेडिंग में 2-3 साल लग जाते हैं जब तक आपकी एक्सपर्टीज आती है. अब आप शुरू में फुल टाइम ट्रेडिंग में घुस गए और आपको लॉसेस अगर हो गए तो यू विल गेट लॉट्स ऑफ डीमोटिवेशन और आपको फिर यू विल नॉट फील गुड. तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए, हमें पार्ट टाइम थोड़ा थोड़ा समय निकाल के हमें पहले स्किल को डेवलप करना चाहिए. तो 1-2 साल में जब हमें ये समझ में आ जाए कि नहीं मेरा स्किल डेवलप हो गया, आई कैन मेक माई लिविंग फ्रॉम ट्रेडिंग, और आपके पास बैकअप कैपिटल भी होना चाहिए कि भाई ट्रेडिंग में लॉस भी हो सकता है, तो आपके पास बैकअप कैपिटल होना चाहिए कि मैं अपना फैमिली चला सकूं, then only you should move to the full time trading, otherwise no. Yes, Simran.
Sir, and next question is, does this VWAP work on index only or it can be used for stock as well?
देखिए VWAP वर्क्स ऑन एनी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट. अगर आप कॉमोडिटी में लो या आप गोल्ड पे भी कर लीजिए, सिल्वर पे भी कर लीजिए, क्योंकि VWAP क्या है, VWAP इज एवरेज ट्रेडेड प्राइस. अब एवरेज, लॉ ऑफ एवरेज तो सबके लिए इक्वल है ना. लॉ ऑफ एवरेज, न्यूटन्स लॉ वहां भी चलेगा, लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन यहाँ भी चलेगा. तो इट वर्क्स ऑन ऑलमोस्ट एवरीथिंग. प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में भी अगर आप कोई बिजनेस कर रहे हैं ना, तो वहां पे भी लॉ ऑफ एवरेज विल वर्क. सो दिस VWAP वर्क्स फॉर ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. लाइफ में भी काम करता है, गोल्ड में भी काम करेगा, सिल्वर में भी करेगा, इंडेक्स में भी करेगा, जिसमें ट्रेडिंग होती है. अब निफ्टी स्पॉट में दिस विल नॉट वर्क, बिकॉज निफ्टी स्पॉट तो ट्रेड नहीं होती है, निफ्टी फ्यूचर्स ट्रेड होती है. सो इट वर्क्स ऑन अ प्रोडक्ट विच इज ट्रेडेबल इनटू द मार्केट.
Sir, and any software names in, as you have mentioned about Falcon and any other softwares?
FNO डेटा के लिए आप यू कैन गो फॉर FNO के सॉफ्टवेयर के लिए हम लोग तो रॉयटर्स यूज करते हैं, बट रॉयटर्स इज स्लाइटली कॉस्टली, इसलिए आई एम नॉट सेइंग. रॉयटर्स विल कॉस्ट यू नियरली 1 लाख रुपीज पर मंथ, सो इट इज अ वेरी कॉस्टली सॉफ्टवेयर. बट इफ यू कैन look for, then you can go for Reuters. But Falcon is a very good value for money software. और जैसे मैंने अभी डेटा के बारे में डिस्कस किया, ऑटो ट्रेंडर, तो आप कई लोगों के मन में आया होगा कैसे कैसे देख सकते हैं. तो ये ट्रायल वर्जन आप SMC ग्लोबल इज अ ब्रोकिंग हाउस जहाँ पे मैं आई एम वर्किंग एज अ डेरिवेटिव हेड. यू कैन टेक अ ट्रायल फॉर दिस प्रोडक्ट. 10-15 दिन का आप ट्रायल लेके आप एनालाइज कर सकते हो कि इट इज वर्थ यूजिंग और नॉट, देन यू कैन गो फॉर द सब्सक्रिप्शन.
Okay, sir. The next question is from Rahul again, and he is asking about, can stock specific PCR can be used as an indicator for intraday trade in cash market for a stock?
देखिए PCR पुट कॉल रेशियो कैश स्टॉक में तो बनेगा नहीं. कैश स्टॉक का डेरिवेटिव्स होगा. सपोज कीजिए कैश में रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज हो गया, बट रिलायंस का डेरिवेटिव इज रिलायंस फ्यूचर, और रिलायंस फ्यूचर का इज कॉल एंड पुट ऑप्शंस. तो जो कॉल एंड पुट ऑप्शंस हैं उसका PCR देख करके आप कैश स्टॉक में ट्रेड कर सकते हो. यानी कि अगर आपको सपोज रिलायंस इंडस्ट्री के कैश स्टॉक में इंट्राडे ट्रेड करना है, तो आप रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज की कॉल पुट का रेशियो इन्वेंट्री देख करके आप एक आइडिया लगा सकते हो कि किधर मार्केट में मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पोजीशंस जा रही है. अब ये डेटा इसलिए काम करता है क्योंकि एक्सचेंज का आज के दिन में 90% वॉल्यूम ऑप्शन में ही है, और ऑप्शन में अगर 90% वॉल्यूम है तो मेजर इन्वेंट्रीज वहीं पे है, इसलिए दिस डेटा इज वर्किंग एज ऑफ.
Okay, sir. The next question is from Govind, and he is asking, is VWAP, can VWAP be used for swing trading? In charts, he has seen VWAP is used only for the stock intraday trading.
VWAP आज जैसे इंट्राडे टॉपिक था, दैट्स वाई मैंने इंट्राडे पे ही वो प्लॉट किया. बट आप इसको स्विंग पे बहुत अच्छे से यूज कर सकते हो, क्योंकि मार्केट नॉर्मली मूव्स इन अ स्विंग, और जो VWAP है दैट इज अ एवरेज. और कभी भी आपने देखा होगा कि रिलायंस तो एक तरफा नहीं चलता ना. आप एक दिन ऊपर जाता है, फिर रुकता है, फिर ऊपर जाता है, फिर नीचे आता है, देन इट गोज अप. सो ऐसा क्यों होता है? बिकॉज इट लॉ ऑफ नेचर है कि वो एवरेज पे आएगा ही आएगा, या एवरेज ऊपर जाएगी या प्राइस नीचे आएगा. तो स्विंग ट्रेडिंग में क्या है कि आप कोशिश करो कि यू बाय नियर एवरेज. वैसा स्टॉक सपोज आपको रिलायंस लेना है, इन्फोसिस लेना है, TCS लेना है और HDFC बैंक लेना है, चारों स्टॉक आपको पोर्टफोलियो में, यू वांट टू ऐड मोर, तो यू जस्ट सी कि कौन सा प्राइस एवरेज के आसपास है, उसको आप ऐड ऑन करो. जो एवरेज से दूर है, जस्ट वेट टू टच द एवरेज, वहां पे आप एंट्री ले सकते हो, तो आपकी राइट एंट्री प्राइस हो जाएगी.
Okay, sir. Sir, next question is from Vijay, and he has asked a question that you already had answer to us in your presentation. Explain about the open interest.
ओपन इंटरेस्ट जैसे नाम है ना, ओपन इंटरेस्ट, तो आप अपना इंटरेस्ट को ओपन करोगे तो उसको हम ओपन इंटरेस्ट बोल देंगे। आप अपना इंटरेस्ट ओपन कैसे करेंगे? हम कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खरीद लेंगे तो मैंने अपना इंटरेस्ट को ओपन कर दिया मार्केट में। अब आप प्लॉट आपने कॉल ऑप्शन लिया तो आपने अपना इंटरेस्ट क्या किया, कॉल की तरफ खोल दिया, इसलिए हम उसे ओपन इंटरेस्ट बोलते हैं। सो एनी इंटरेस्ट क्रिएटेड इनटू द मार्केट इज कॉल्ड ओपन इंटरेस्ट।
Okay, sir. So, next question is, can you explain a bit about your professional journey, how you got from CA to being a trader?
देखो, जब मैं सीए कर रहा था तो फाइनल में फेल हो गया। अब फाइनल में एक ग्रुप अटक गया मेरा, ये बात है 2003 की। अब एक ग्रुप अटक गया तो फिर मेरा एक फ्रेंड था, ही वाज इनटू अ स्टॉक मार्केट ट्रेडिंग, उसने मुझे एक शेयर दिला दिया, अभी भी याद है, यूबी होल्डिंग। 40 रुपीज में मैंने बाय किया और वो 2-3 महीने में 80 रुपए हो गया, 80 रुपीज। तो मैंने उस समय 10,000 का वो शेयर लिए, 20,000 हो गए, तो उससे मेरा खर्चा निकल गया। आई थॉट कि अरे ये बहुत अच्छा है, मेरा जो लिविंग एक्सपेंसेस था वो सब कवर हो गया उससे। फिर फिर नेक्स्ट मैंने एक सरदार सरोवर बॉन्ड हुआ करता था, आई बॉट दैट बॉन्ड ऑन एट 20,000 उसी कैपिटल से, एंड संजोग से वो 35,000 का 2-3 दिन में ही हो गया। तो मैं सोचा ये क्या हो रहा है मार्केट में, हाउ दिस इज हैपनिंग, यहाँ पे तो बहुत पैसा है। तो फिर वहां से आई गॉट एन आइडिया ऑफ टेक्निकल एनालिसिस एंड देन आई डिड सीए, एंड संजोग से उस समय मुझे एक यूएस की कंपनी में जॉब मिल गया, जो गूगल की लिस्टिंग उस समय होने वाली थी, एंड आई स्टार्टेड ट्रेडिंग इनटू अ टेक्निकल एनालिसिस में मुझे जॉब मिल गई। मैंने सीए में नहीं गया, मैं वहां से इंटरेस्ट आ गया और स्टार्टेड ट्रेडिंग इनटू अ टेक्निकल एनालिसिस, और I have been trained by a US trader, Mr. Fred Garber. वो मुझे मिल गया, and I was trained for 6 months on the live trading, जो Google trading, Google में हम लोग ट्रेड करते थे। एंड देन कुछ रेस्ट्रिक्शंस आ गई तो हमने यूएस मार्केट को ट्रेड करना बंद कर दिया, और फिर आई ज्वाइंड एसएमसी ग्लोबल इन 2005, और वहां पे जो फिर देन निफ्टी ऑप्शंस उस समय नई नई आई थी, और डेरिवेटिव वाज एरिया जहाँ पे लोग नहीं थे, एंड देन वहां से फिर मैंने डेरिवेटिव में एक्सप्लोर किया, और डेरिवेटिव इज अ वेरी वेरी गुड ऑप्शन एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी। डेरिवेटिव आज के दिन में हॉटेस्ट प्रोडक्ट है, और डेरिवेटिव में बहुत ही स्कोप है। अभी एक्सचेंज में अगर जैसे कई ऐसे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स होंगे जो अपना करियर सोच रहे होंगे, तो अगर आपको आना है तो डेरिवेटिव इज द बेस्ट फील्ड, क्योंकि डेरिवेटिव में अभी लोग भी कम हैं। भले ही 20 साल से मैं हूँ इसमें, बट अभी भी मार्केट में अच्छे डेरिवेटिव एनालिस्ट कम है, और इसमें स्कोप बहुत ज्यादा है, क्योंकि हर दिन नए प्रोडक्ट्स आ रहे हैं, और डेरिवेटिव में वॉल्यूम्स आर मैक्सिमम वॉल्यूम इज इनटू अ डेरिवेटिव सेक्शन। अगर पूरे वर्ल्ड वाइड आप एनालाइज करेंगे तो पूरे वर्ल्ड में जो ट्रेडिंग होती है दैट इज 90% इनटू अ डेरिवेटिव्स। तो ये दिस इज अ मतलब फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग, अगर आपको करना है तो यू शुड गेट इनटू अ डेरिवेटिव। इसमें कई स्ट्रेटजीज बना सकते हैं, नॉट ओनली इंट्रा ट्रेडिंग। तो इस तरीके से मैं यहाँ तक by luck I came into a derivative section. Thank you.
No, sir, it's not luck. It's like your sheer hard work, we should say. So next question is from Surya, and he's asking, if we buy VWAP say at 11 a.m. and then VWAP goes down at 12 a.m., should we exit or add more shares if it still has not touched the stop loss?
No, जब हमारी एंट्री हो गई, हम चक्रव्यूह में घुस गए, then there is only one thing that we have to exit at a stop loss, क्योंकि VWAP तो थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे इट विल कीप ऑन मूविंग, बट वंस यू एंटर द ट्रेड फिर आप VWAP को छोड़ दीजिए, देन यू हैव अ स्टॉप लॉस जो आपका डे लो होगा। सपोज आपने बाय कर लिया तो डे लो स्टॉप लॉस होगा, और अगर आपने शॉर्ट साइड किया तो डे हाई स्टॉप लॉस होगा। एंट्री करने के बाद यू ओनली नीड टू फॉलो स्टॉप लॉस, नो VWAP, नथिंग एल्स।
So basically, you mean we need to follow a strategy after entering into a stock, not any movements in the market.
बिफोर एंट्री हमें अपने रूल्स को फॉलो करना है। जब हम एंट्री कर लिए देन वी हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन द डिसीजन। जब हम सीए में घुस गए तो हमारा फिर एक ही चीज है कि पास करना है, और कोई उपाय नहीं है। तो फिर देयर इज ओनली वन आउटपुट, दैट आइदर यू विल हैव अ लॉस और यू विल हैव अ प्रॉफिट।
Sir, next question is from Navajit, and he's asking, do we need to check the PCR of an individual strike price?
देखिए, अगर आप ओवरऑल चेक कर रहे हैं दैट इज वन। इफ यू वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। अगर आप और थोड़ा डीप डाइव करना चाहते हैं तो आपको इंडिविजुअल स्ट्राइक्स भी आप चेक कर सकते हो। जैसे अभी मैंने एग्जांपल में एट द मनी का दिखाया, तो जब आप इंडिविजुअल्स को आप चेक करते रहेंगे तो यू विल गेट अ मोर एक्यूरेसी, क्योंकि एक तो ओवरऑल पीसीआर हो गया, और जब व्हेन यू चेक अ इंडिविजुअल स्ट्राइक्स तो आपको दैट गिव्स अ मोर कॉन्फिडेंस। बिकॉज जब मैं स्टार्ट कर रहा था प्रेजेंटेशन तो मैंने ये बोला था कि जो प्राइस दिखता है दैट इज अ बॉडी, और बॉडी के अंदर जो ब्लड है दैट इज पोजीशंस में क्या हो रहा है, इन्वेंट्री। तो अब आप इंडिविजुअल स्ट्राइक्स को देखोगे तो आपको एक एक पार्ट में देखेगा कि कहाँ पे स्ट्रेंथ है, कौन से स्ट्राइक के ऊपर स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है, कौन से स्ट्राइक के नीचे स्ट्रेंथ है। तो बॉडी के ऊपर नीचे हर स्ट्राइक्स को आप अगर एनालाइज करेंगे तो आपको किस लेवल तक की स्ट्रेंथ है ये पता चल जाएगी। तो टू यस आपको यू कैन चेक अ इंडिविजुअल स्ट्राइक पीसीआर ऑल्सो।
And sir, this is the last question, and it's from Shankar, sorry. And it is saying ki which is the best option, buying or option selling?
कैपिटल अगर आपके पास है, इट डिपेंड्स भाई। जो कम पैसे वाले लोग हैं उनके लिए बाइंग इज ओनली ऑप्शन, और ज्यादा पैसे वाले लोगों के लिए सेलिंग एंड बोथ ऑप्शन है, क्योंकि बाइंग में इट रिक्वायर्स ए वेरी लेस कैपिटल। अब सेलिंग में इट रिक्वायर्स मोर कैपिटल, मोर रिस्क एपेटाइट, क्योंकि भाई सेलिंग करना हर आदमी के बस की बात नहीं है। बिकॉज सेलिंग में क्या है कि यू हैव अ लिमिटेड प्रॉफिट एंड अनलिमिटेड रिस्क। ओवरनाइट कुछ भी हो सकता है, इंट्राडे में आपको उतना प्रॉफिट नहीं आता है। बट अगर आप इंट्राडे कर रहे हो तो इंट्राडे में तो बाइंग इज ओनली सुटेबल, क्योंकि इंट्राडे में सेलर को पैसा नहीं मिलता, क्योंकि सेलर को पैसा टाइम वैल्यू डीके से मिलता है। सो दैट वो हमेशा थोड़ा कैरी फॉरवर्ड करके ही आती है। और एज अ बिगिनर जब हम लोग कर रहे हैं तो सेलिंग में हमें हेज स्ट्रेटजी करनी चाहिए, लाइक वी कैन डू अ क्रेडिट स्प्रेड्स वगैरह हम कर सकते हैं सेलिंग में। सेलिंग इज ऑल्सो अ गुड स्ट्रेटजी, बट व्हाट आई प्रीफर इज अ बाइंग, क्योंकि हम इंट्राडे करते हैं और हमें फटाक से मूवमेंट चाहिए। तो इंट्राडे में बाइंग इज मोर रिवार्डिंग देन द सेलिंग। बट अगर आप कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हैं तो सेलिंग भी आप कर सकते हैं। इन इंडिया ओनली 10% ऑफ द ट्रेडर्स डू सेलिंग एंड 90% आर buyer of option, but the bad luck is buyer normally loses options. So this is the problem. But what I think is buying से भी हम अच्छा profit बना सकते हैं. We can make good money from a buying also.
Sir, this is the one last question that is from Chirag's side, and we will be concluding the question answering round after this. And it is how to enter a derivative market, any good companies after doing chartered accountants.
आफ्टर डूइंग सीए यू कैन यू शुड एक तो आप बड़ा सिंपल एनएसएम का डेरिवेटिव स्ट्रेटजीज कोर्स वगैरह आप कर सकते हो, जो कम से कम आपको बेसिक आइडिया हो जाए। क्योंकि आप इफ यू गो टू एनी कंपनी तो रिसर्च में अगर आपको जाना है तो वो आपसे क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे। तो अगर इफ यू आर अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट देन दे विल पुट यू इनटू अ फंडामेंटल साइड, और फंडामेंटल में मे बी इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड देन गुड, क्योंकि फंडामेंटल में यू हैव अ एक्सपर्टीज। सो नॉर्मली अगर कोई भी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हमारे पास आते हैं तो वी पुट देम इनटू अ फंडामेंटल एनालिसिस। और अगर आपको टेक्निकल में जाना है तो फिर थोड़ा सा आपको एक बेसिक आइडिया होना चाहिए डेरिवेटिव्स एंड टेक्निकल में। तो आप थोड़ा उसका आइदर यू कैन स्टडी कुछ, जैसे मैकमिलन की एक बुक है, मैकमिलन की बुक आती है ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग पे, स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑप्शन एज ए स्ट्रेटेजिक इन्वेस्टमेंट। दिस इज अ वेरी गुड बुक, बेसिक बुक है, मैकमिलन बाय मैकमिलन। आप उसको थोड़ा स्टडी करके अगर आप जाते हो आप, तो देन देयर इज अ प्रोबेबिलिटी कि भाई जो इंटरव्यूअर है वो आपका इंटरेस्ट देख करके आपको डेरिवेटिव साइड में ले सकता है। बट स्टार्टिंग में दे विल नॉट टेक यू इनटू अ डेरिवेटिव, बिकॉज आपकी एक्सपर्टीज उसमें नहीं है, आपका कोर कॉम्पिटेंस उसमें नहीं है। बट अगर आप से मैकमिलन वगैरह को थोड़ा स्टडी कर लेते हो, थोड़ी मोटी बुक है, 500-600 पेज की बुक है, बट इट्स अ वेरी गुड बुक, ऑप्शन एज ए स्ट्रेटेजिक इन्वेस्टमेंट। अमेजोन में अवेलेबल है, आप उसको स्टडी करते हो तो देन यू हैव अ प्रोबेबिलिटी कि आप इंटरव्यू यू कैन फेस द इंटरव्यूज।
So I would be concluding this. Thank you, Nitin sir, for showing your expertise and knowledge with us during this virtual gathering. And your insightful presentation has provided us with valuable insights. And I'm sure the amount of questions we have received in our question web, so it must have left a lasting impact on all of the participants. And there are more questions coming, but due to the time constraint, I have to now bid farewell to you and call for Mr. Navjot Singh. But sir, we are very grateful for the time and effort you invested in delivering this presentation and your expertise knowledge with us.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you all participants, all learners. So what I shared my experience. So you can try and implement, try it slowly. Don't move too fast, but these tricks will really help you and work. Now Navjot will tell you the waves. So we discussed कि market में waves आती है, but उस waves में क्या होता है? Now Navjot will explain you much better. So thank you all for joining, and thank you CA Institute for giving me this opportunity. I'm really always, it's my pleasure to deliver in front of my family members, which I consider as a CA family members. Thank you very much. Thank you, Simran.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, Navjot sir. I am really pleased to have introduced you on this virtual platform. And I would say that saying any words for Navjot sir is like Suraj ko Deepak dikhana. It's just like that. With over having a 10 years of experience in stock market, Navjot sir has been an adept and practitioner of the Elliott ways, utilizing his beyond trading techniques since 2015. And Navjot sir also currently serves as a chairman of the Investor Protection Committee, where he plays a crucial role in safeguarding the interest of the investors. And throughout his career, Navjot sir has also demonstrated exceptional ability to identify the market trends and make informed investment decisions, consistently achieving the remarkable results. His profound understanding of Elliott wave theory has allowed him to successfully navigate through stock markets worldwide and proving his versatility and adaptability in diverse market conditions. We are honored to have Navjot sir as a part of this virtual gathering today. We are eagerly anticipating his insights and wisdom as he shares his experience and expertise with us. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Navjot Singh Arora. Thank you, sir, for coming and giving us your time over here. I'm handing over the stage to you now. Sir, your voice is not audible. I guess you are on mute. Ashraf, can I expect a technical support from your side? Because Navjot sir's voice is not audible to us.
Okay. Is it audible?
Yeah, now it's audible.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you for the good introduction, Simran. I'll brief my journey with the Elliott wave thing. I started investing in the market in 2008 when I was doing my BCom. That was a time market saw a very big crash in the form of subprime prices. Lehman Brothers, that was the banker which failed in US, and at that point of time, I whatever stocks I bought, I was in profit. But with some years down the line, there were few losses, and my strike rate, which was like earlier in my college days, 80%, it went down to 30-40%. Well, in a trading or an investing thing, you need to maintain your strike rate, where you need to have good bets more than the loss making bets. So I kept on asking myself what could be the other strategies. What are their other strategies? Well, people are making a lot of money in stock markets. Then in 2015, I came up with this idea of Elliott wave. Like in the back 2013, I started like reading about it. By the time 2015, I got ample information on this concept and started using it on daily basis. In the BTST call, you can use Elliott wave to trade any markets around the world. You can use it to trade US markets, you can use it to trade Canadian markets, Indian markets, you can use it to trade cryptocurrencies, you can use it to trade commodities. You can apply Elliott wave theory on a 5-minute chart, on a 10-minute chart, 15-minute chart, down the line to a 1 month chart, a weekly chart. So it totally depends upon the timeline you've been selecting. So that tells the behavior of the investor. Supposingly, if you are using the concept to invest the Elliott wave, the concept is being used on a monthly chart. That tells you are a long-term investor. If you're using it on a like on a minutes chart, like a 5 minutes chart or 10 minutes chart, then you can use it for a trading also. I'll now share my screen
Sure, sir.
for the day. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. It's very much visible to us.
Starting with the basic concept of the Elliott wave theory. Well, Elliott wave has a 5 pattern. Basically, it has an impulsive move, like which is numbered in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then there is a correction, A, B, and C. And likewise, it goes on. Elliott wave have various cycles. There is a cycle is named as a grand cycle, a super cycle, grand cycle, then a normal cycle, then a prime cycle, then a minute cycle. So I'll illustrate it with a live example. I'll move on to a chart, a live chart of Nifty India. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've done some homework here. This is a Nifty monthly chart.
No,
Which is,
sir. Sorry to interrupt you, but your screen is not visible. It is of Elliott wave theory notes that are being visible to us.
can I share my entire screen also?
Yes, sir, you can. No, sir, still not visible. So yeah, I think there is a share screen option now. Either you have to you can go on a particular window.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's visible, sir.
Well, Elliott wave, as illustrated with the first slide, it has 5 waves. Uh, India, as a country, like our country, ended the first wave down the line in 2008. Since it is a monthly chart, we can term it as a grand cycle. So this is a grand cycle uh, of the price movement of the stock market. Now there can be a question why this is again going up only. Why we cannot see it going down? It is because that the economy value of every country rises over the period of time. So the stock market is tend to have only upward direction. In the 10 years, you will see Nifty at the average level of around 23 to 25,000. So with each and each passing year, our GDP growth is increasing, and this is the reason like markets are moving up on the upward direction only. But within this upward direction, the decision is on us. What percentage what we are gaining? Like Nifty, if we see from 1990s level has given an average return of 12 to 13%. If someone would have bought only Nifty Bs is an index which invests in Nifty only. So you would have got an average return of 12 to 13% comparison to a bank like which gives you 7 to 8%. So, but learning Elliott wave going into a trading, definitely 13 or 15% doesn't attract you much. People tend to, I've seen people gaining around 100+% on their each bets using this theory. Like now coming on to the Elliott wave back to, well, Elliott wave theory has like 5 cycle as I suggested. First, the third wave and the fifth wave. The both of these three waves have all these have a impulsive structures. Like the second and the fourth wave of the structure is a corrective structure. Each wave, like the first, the third wave, and the fifth wave, here, all these three waves, like first wave and first wave, third wave, and the fifth wave, they are also of impulsive nature. Every wave in Elliott, like the first, third, and fifth, they are of an impulsive nature. Every corrective wave, we will also learn about correction in the later on stage. Corrections in the Elliott wave are a bit more complex.
Navjot sir, your voice is gone again. It is not audible to us. Oh, no, sir, you are not audible. Now you are, sir.
Okay, okay. Well, coming back to the first impulse wave, like the first impulse wave, which ended near 2008, like it has five within the impulsive patterns: the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Again, these patterns, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, in this first, third, and fifth were impulsive within this. So each cycle has an impulse uh, down, starting from, if we learn from starting, Elliott wave is of five cycles. Uh, First, second, third, fourth, fifth. First, third, and fifth wave are impulsive waves. Each wave have an impulsive pattern within it. Like if I talk about first wave, which ended in 2018, it has an impulse within it. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have uh, every wave in Elliott wave theory have a different characteristic. Now let us start from the first wave. Coming back to the presentation, like first wave. Now we will study the personality of the each wave, which is there in the stock patterns. Like a first wave has a personality itself in the Elliott wave. Nature of wave one varies from slower to medium. A wave one is basically a slower to medium wave. It is not very fast. Usually traders do not react on this wave. It is the wave basically created from the institutional investor. Whenever a trend starts in an Elliott wave, it is usually starts with an investor. Basically, investors comes in first when they see a value buying. There's a concept of intrinsic value in our stock market, which you must have read in your MAFA course. So whenever the investors they correlate the numbers which are there in the stock market with the fundamentals. When they find this apt, so they start entering into the market, and this is where a trend starts, and we term it as wave one. So wave one is lower to medium, even fast to faster, depending on its high degree. Example, if it is an internal wave three, if it is internal wave of wave 3 or wave C, it will be faster. And if it is wave A or wave 5, it will be slower to medium. Fibonacci calculations. There isn't any calculation for wave 1. We need to rely on its internal waveform. Now coming back to the chart, the practical aspect, like what are Fibonacci series? Fibonacci is basically uh, used to project the wavelength and basically used to like to measure the correction of the Elliott wave. In the first wave in the Elliott wave do not have a defined length. It can go to any limit in your grand cycle. So supposingly, if I take an example over here, the first wave, like we need to count each and every movement in the Elliott wave to so that we can number the waves properly. If I count, supposingly I go back to 1996. Now, expand it more. The trend started near 1996 when the first wave started. So first wave has a nature like when it ends, it is followed by a second wave. The first wave, supposedly here we can say it was started by the investors, and then there was a second wave. Now, second wave, as we stated earlier, that second and the fourth wave both are corrective wave. So we need to measure the wavelength of second wave using Fibonacci. Usually, second wave is the wave which corrects near 61%. This is a golden ratio, 38% to 61% in Fibonacci series. This is the wavelength for the second wave, but it can correct up to 99% also. The only aspect we need to watch over here is that second wave should not cross the first wave. The moment it crosses the first wave, our impulsive, what we can say is the impulse pattern of Elliott wave is a fail pattern. You can say that still the correction is going on because the second wave has crossed the first wave. This is not a start of a new trend. So you need to wait and watch. Usually traders enter in the third wave. Once the second wave has like it has elapsed this time, here you can see the second wave corrected near 80 to 90%. And from there, you can see a trend starting. Like each again, if I number it, this was the third wave in the trend. So this is the third wave of the grand cycle, which ended here. So you need to measure the nature of the waves. Like a third wave will have a nature where you will see many green candles. The power of the impulse would be very strong. So that will tell you where you are trading currently in the wave. So here you can see there are many green candles. So this is the third wave which has which continued till 1400 levels, and then there was a correction. Again, you can measure this correction with the Fibonacci series. Usually, fourth wave has a quality 23 to 38%. And in the impulsive structure, it is again, there is a golden rule uh, that fourth wave should not cross first wave. Once it crosses the first wave, then again that can be a fail pattern, or either the first wave has a different characteristics. The first wave can be of two nature. It is with the two there are two waves in the Elliott wave, the first wave and the fifth wave, which has two characteristics. Either they are impulsive. The first wave can be impulsive over a leading diagonal. The fifth wave, which is the ending point of the cycle, each cycle of the Elliott, that can be of an impulsive nature or a leading diagonal. Usually, what we see is the fifth wave has a leading diagonal pattern, which marks the end of a impulsive structure, and then a correction is followed. So this is what we are studying in the monthly chart. Now, supposingly, if I need to take an example, I will take you to the third, the cycle, which is the 1 day cycle of the Elliott wave. Here we will study. Let us take an example like now, supposing the trend here started. Now, I'm a new investor into the stock market. I don't know from where I should start the counting. As an Elliott trader, like now, I will wait until and unless I see a start of a trend. Now, from here, you can see from here, the correction ended and a new trend started over here. Elliott wave needs more of a discipline investing. Like supposingly this is a day chart, this can be used for a investing purpose. Now from here, supposingly the trend starts. So this trend, you can see this as a nature which is very slow. It started with a red candle, then a small green candle, and a very small red candle that ended the trend. So this tells me the nature is very slow. This can be the first wave because first wave has a very slow nature and it is the start of a trend. Here, usually the institutional investors start investing. Now, a trader will wait for the second wave. Now, with the Fibonacci tool, you can use to measure the length of a second wave. As we said, second wave has a correction pattern of 38% to 61%, but here it settled down near 78%. So from here, what a trader will see, he will see the start of a next impulse, and that impulse should be very like a very deep and aggressive. It should be the next impulse because the third wave has a characteristic which we will read in the presentation. It is very sharp. It goes on with the gaps. The market has a very huge buying pressure over here. You will see various green candles in this wave pattern, and it is of impulsive nature. Whenever I use the word impulsive, you can say that wave is of five levels: one, two, three, four, and five. That is what we say impulsive nature. So here the first wave ended. Second wave, when ended, trader would be waiting. I was waiting. I wanted to see what is the nature of the next trend. Like I saw green candle over here. Supposingly, I saw green candle over here. I'll wait for the continuation of the pattern. Like supposingly on 29th March, the the very next day, you see the 31st March, the trend started with the gap. So this is where you can say that a huge buying pressure is coming. Here you get a hint that the third wave has started, third wave or either the C wave. Uh, it has started over here and it has a very aggressive trend, which is in green bars. It has been shown. And now it is followed by a correction afterwards. The third wave length now coming on to the characteristic of a third wave. Third wave is basically uh, more of a green candles. Third wave has a major, the projected length, basically it extends from first wave. It has a length of basically 1.618, 2.618, 3.618, 4.236. So these are the levels usually the third wave extends, but it can limit to any number of waves, uh, any number of points. Like this is a Fibonacci tool. You can click onto the Fibonacci tool. You can see the levels over here. If supposingly you see the green bars continuing endlessly, then you can extend the wave 3 numbering from here. You can use 5.236, then there is a 5.236, then there is a 6.236, then there is 7.236. Usually what I have seen is it is a 4.236 length where the third wave can extend at a higher degree level. In the grand cycle, it can extend up to 5.236, 6.236. So here in our chart, we can see that supposingly, let me hide this chart for you. Now, I don't know the future, right? I need to predict the future from here. The first wave started with the institutional investor, as we talked about. The second wavelength, which matched our Fibonacci cycle, it corrected near 78.6%. It passed our golden rule that the second wave has not crossed the first wave. That means it is a legitimate impulsive wave structure. You can rely on that. Now what you see is you see the characteristic of the coming next wave pattern. So after second wave, it is followed by a third wave. Now supposingly I entered here I saw the gap and I entered on 31st March, and I projected the length of a third wave, which is 1.618. This is the minimum pattern what the third wave needs to achieve. It is a minimum range. It is 1.618 of the first wave. You can see over here, like market reacted when the 1.618 levels were met. You can see that there was a red candle. Market tried to correct. Few traders exited from this trend, but the trend continued the next day. And once this is the hammer candle. Basically, candlesticks are the representation of your price pattern. Each candle in a day represents the price action of that day. Supposingly, this is a green candle which started. This is the bottom of the candle. This is the bottom of the candle, and this is the upside on the candle. Here is the candle which ended on the day, and this is the next candle for the next day. So this is the pure green candle. You can see the price action started from this bottom and it ended near this bottom. It went high. The bars which you will see is that is the extension of the price. Supposingly this is a small bar above the candle. That was the extension of the price on that particular day. Price went over here, but it closed down to this level, which is 17,369 level of that day. And here are like 1.618 structure ended. So this is the point where the 1.618. Now, how would I identify that this trend is continuing? Supposingly, as a trader, I exited this bet. It started from this level with the gap at 17,208. It met my level at 17,446, which is a 240-point bet. I met my bet. I exited. Now, supposingly, this is another trend which continued. This is the third wave which continued over and over again. So this is the candle, like the price action. It went down, but there were a lot of buyers over here, and they stretched the price, and it closed near. The hammer candle in a candlestick pattern is a very good signal that the trend is to be continued. So this is the candle which on that particular day made me realize on the very next day that this trend is going to continue. So once this candle ends and the next day price move above the close of that candles, supposingly I zoom over here. Now here, the moment the next day, if you are a trader, the moment the next candle on the next day moves above the previous candle, that is a very big signal that this is a continuation of your trend, and one could have entered over here with the stop loss of the day's low. This was a day low. The next day candle opened at 17,405. Once it crossed 17,437, the moment it crossed for 17,437, a trader could have entered a future derivative, or he could have bought a call option with a stop loss of like 30 points over here, 17,405. And you can see that the trend carried on and it went till 17,847. Then we were followed by a correction. Now, supposingly, if I hide this thing, now for me, the third wave length went till 2.618. The 1.61 level were achieved, but it was a continuation of a third wave. Again, we can see the very huge green candles are there. The price is going almost on a vertical range up. It is going at a vertical level. Price is vertical. This is a trend of a third wave. You can identify, and this is the most favorite for every trader or the investor in the stock market. If you're investing in any stock, you would like to identify the third wave in that stock. Third wave can be the same Elliott structure is followed in the stocks and the index. It is same. The nature of the wave, the quality of the waves will be same in every aspect of the stock market. Either it is commodity, either it is index, either it is a stock. So currently we are trading on stock. Uh, Supposingly the third wave ended near 2.618. It tried to go above, but there was a strong red candle. Now, supposingly, now this was the second barrier to 2.618. Here is a trader where you can exit as a trader. Supposingly, you have made your mathematical ratio. This is the principle of Elliott wave is totally based on mathematical ratios. There are decided targets, there are decided correction levels. So everything is decided based on the Fibonacci tools. So it is a pre-decided picture. You can Elliott wave can be used to predict the stock market. So you can predict the direction of the stock market using these waves, knowing the quality of the waves, the nature of the wave patterns. So how to identify the wave patterns. So why I'm repeating the nature of the waves, it will help you to identify in what wave you are trading. Supposingly I'm a new trader, I entered over here. I was totally into new to the stock market. How would I identify in which wave is currently a stock market trading? So I will study the history. Basically, a history in the stock market tells you the nature of the wave you are currently into the stock market. When I entered over here, supposingly I saw the correction, I thought I would enter over here. Supposingly the market went down, and now I have a loss of around like 100 points over here. If I entered near 17,672, unluckily the price went down from here, like it went to 17,550, almost 80 point down. So how would I like know that should I exit from the market or should I sustain my trade with the 80 point loss? Because there is a future. Again, there is a reversal of a trend, and that trend reversal is also very vertical. You can see this is the third wave which carried on. Like what what makes me think that I should what makes me think that I should maintain my trade over here? That is the history of this wave pattern. It started with the first wave, second wave, it uh, it met our principles. The second wave is usually 61%, but it can extend to 90%. It ended near 78.6% with the Fibonacci tool. I used the start of the trend to the upper limit of this trend, which ended near 17,200. It corrected near 16,911, which is 78.6% of the Fibonacci level. Then I waited to see a green candle, where it consolidated for 1 to 2 days over here without breaking the level of 16,911. And then we saw a green candle at the fourth day. And we still waited because we need to see whether we are in third wave or not. And very next day on 31st March, it opened with the gap. It was our confirmation that this is a third wave. Now coming back where we left, how I would identify that I should maintain my trade with the loss or not. Now we will have to see a history of the wave pattern. Now this is the history of the wave pattern. The third wave, it's a history of the wave pattern. Now I can identify like it ended near 2.618. I projected the wavelength from the top, I used the Fibonacci table. I joined the top and I used the bottom. My first target was 1.618. Then I saw a red candle. With the crossing of that red candle, very next day I re-entered my trade. Now, what is the point? I should keep myself within this trade. Now, that second point is 2.618. So at this point, 2.618, I decided to exit, or either I can maintain my trade. So I see like at 2.618 level, it corrected. Now the wave is followed by a fourth pattern. First, second, third, there is a wave pattern structure which will help you. Supposingly, we aren't knowing the future of the. Here, I will hide the wave. I don't know the future over there. Now the impulse starts with the first wave ended, and the second wave ended near 16,912. Third wave ended near 17,836. Definitely a third wave is followed by a fourth wave and then a fifth wave, because it is a legitimate pattern. It was legitimate near second wave because it never broke down the first wave. Then the third wave confirmed that impulse is being continued. And then I know now at the level of 2.618, it will be followed by fourth wave. Either it could have reached 3.618 level. At that point, the correction would have started. It would have reached 4.23% level. At that point, correction would have started. So I am maintaining my trade in the third wave, and now supposingly I want to keep it for the fifth wave also. So how the history of this Elliott wave helps you is that you need to watch the correction patterns now. Now, supposingly third wave ended near 2.618, as this chart pattern tells you. This is a history. Future is always unpredictable, but with these principles, the knowledge of this mathematic ratios, this Fibonacci mathematic ratios, you can always project the direction of the market. And I have been doing that. Today, I have a 80% accuracy in market. My strike rate has reached from like 50% down the line to 80% using these principles. So supposingly third wave ended over here. Now I know it will be followed by a fourth wave. So currently at this point on 13th April, I knew that the fourth wave would be its height would be very less. The reason behind, there are two corrections in the impulsive wave: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is an impulse, out of which 1, 3, and fifth wave, they are always of impulsive nature within the grand cycle, which we talked about. Like supposingly, Elliott wave structure is of 5 waves. Now within that pattern, first, the third, and the fifth wave will be of impulsive nature, and the second and the fourth wave, which I told you, it is of a corrective nature. Once you see the second wave, now how I can predict the length of the fourth wave? Usually the fourth wave length is 23% to 38%, but it can extend to 50%. Here, I never knew the length of the fourth wave, but I very accurately predicted that it will end near 38%. The reason behind, the second wave was very deep. Whenever the second wave achieves the length of 61% to 78.6%, or it extends near 80 to 90%, the fourth wave length will always be very small. It will be a standard ratio 23 to 38%, and it will never extend to 50%. So I will now measure the fourth wave length over here. You can see first wave ended here, second wave, third wave ended here. From the bottom of the first wave, where our structure started, I kept the Fibonacci tool to the top of the third wave. From here, what I'm doing is I'm trying to measure the fourth wave. The fourth wave, you can see it has a standard ratio. 23%. 23%, and here you can see the price action. These are the candlestick patterns which are telling you the price action for the particular day. Supposingly, this is the candlestick pattern of 19th April. This is the candlestick pattern of 20th April. This is the candlestick pattern of 21st April. Now, what these candlestick patterns are telling you is, you can see that each time price wanted to go down, but people came with the buying pressure, and they stressed the price up, and they made the price close near our Fibonacci golden ratio 23.6% for the fourth wave. It could have extended till 38%. The reason behind it didn't extend it because we had a very deep second wave over here. So the fourth wave, which ended near 23.6%, with these hammer candles, these are the candles which are very easily telling you that still there is a buying pressure, buyers are still alive over here. You could have holded your trade with the stop loss. Supposingly, if I'm riding on a third wave, I would have put a stop loss of here like 50%. I entered over here. I entered over here at 17,211 levels. I rided it till, supposingly I rided 17,439 before exiting my trade, and then re-entering it at 17,440 levels, which were like above the levels of 3rd March. On 5th, on 3rd April. On 5th April, prices crossed my 17,436 level. I re-entered the trade. I rided this trend. I could have kept my stop loss at 38%. 23 and 38% are the golden ratio. 50% is the stress ratio. Usually, as we talk, that when the second ratio is deep, the fourth wave length is 23.6 to 38.2%. I could have kept my stop loss over here at 17,463 level, or it would have been at 17,345 levels. This would have been my first stop loss. So here, supposingly, market extended and I hit my stop loss. Now I wanted to ride the trend again. What I would see at this level, I would take the help of the candlestick patterns. We are not going pretty much deep on the candlestick patterns here because we have a lot to study over here. I would always ask you to go and study the candlestick patterns. Along with this, once you get prepared with this Elliott wave pattern over here, go and study the various bullish candlestick patterns and the bearish candlestick pattern. There are 7 to 8 very good bullish candlestick patterns, and there are very good 7 to 6 bearish candlestick patterns. How you can rely on this candlestick pattern is the looking at the nature of the candlestick patterns. So candlestick patterns in the Elliott wave theory are very helpful. That basically tells you the continuation of trend. Supposingly over here at 23.6%, these candlestick patterns are telling me that the trend will continue because the buying pressure is coming from down. You can see the wicks. There are very big wicks from the down because buyers are still active and they want to continue with the trend. Now, supposingly looking at this candlestick pattern, supposingly I exit over here. Now I have re-enter a trade. I'm a new trader in the stock market. I got alive on 21st April and I saw I need to trade on the market. Now I will see the history of the patterns first, second, and the third. I could easily see that at the fourth level, market is still active and the buyers want to continue the trend. So this is the wick and followed by again hammer candle. You can see a very huge buying pressure. This is the downward wick. The candle ended over here. So this is a confirmation. this candlestick pattern is a confirmation that I can again re-enter my trade. What will be your stop loss over here with this candlestick pattern? Supposingly, uh, this candlestick pattern ended near 1749 level. You could have entered this level with the stop loss of this 17620 level. So the stop loss is of like 100 points over here. You could have bought a future contract. And usually the option contracts do not, I would say, if you have an appetite, you could have bought the in the money option contract. Here the in the money option contracts are very active. Supposingly you could have entered option contract near these levels. Like if I am entering at these levels, my entering level, my hammer pattern, ended over here. Supposingly, I bought a 17,650 call option. 17,650 call option here with a stop loss near 17,612. Average in that candlestick pattern would be like supposingly you entered over in this level, you entered once the price crosses this your closing level of the last day. So this is the closing level of your last day. It ended near 17,660. Supposingly you entered into this level, you entered the 650 contract, and you could have kept a small stop loss over here. This is your stop loss, that is 17,620 level. In your option contract, it would be like 10 to 20 rupees. In the future contract, it would be like 1662, like 40 points stop loss, and you could have continued your trade with the stop loss. As like in earlier PPT, Nitinji mentioned that you need to use stop losses. Like stop losses are very much necessary in your trades. Either you use Elliott wave, either you trade intraday, you need to use stop loss. So here the trend continues. Now we were not knowing what would be the nature of the trend, the next trend. It was a green candle. Now coming on to the fifth wave. We talked about first wave. First wave, as we discussed, it is a start of a trend of a Elliott wave. There is no ratio, no length defined of a first wave. It is formed by institutional investors, which usually buy on the basis of fundamentals, correlating it with the data of the market, either their bets currently, the a stock or basically any stock trading at current level, is it beneficial to buy or not using the fundamental levels. So institutional buyers bought the Nifty stocks. It made Nifty to react to start with the trend. It ended with the first wave. Second wave confirmed. It closed near 78.6 levels. It never breached the first wave, so it is a legitimate pattern. Now the third wave with the very sharp trend, it continued. Fourth wave, it met our principles. Second wave is deeper than 61%, 61.8%. Now the fourth wave, it will never go beyond 23 or 38%. But from 23.8 levels, it again started. Now we were at 21st April. Now we never knew that the trend again will be of very aggressive trend. Now what this trend tells you, over a period of time, looking at the nature of this next increase, right from 21st April to 15th May, when the next correction came, it tells you again that this is a continuation of third wave. Reason behind how could I identify this? Various green candles coming in, a vertical rise over here. I could just easily make out from this will come with more and more experience, more and more charts you see. easily you can identify the wave pattern you are into. So I identified over here, this is a continuation of numbering. This is a continuation of third wave. Supposingly, I numbered my third wave, which was 2.618 of first wave. I numbered my third wave over here. I numbered my fourth wave over here. Because I'm talking about history, I don't know the future. I numbered third wave, fourth wave. Now the fifth wave has to come. Fifth wave usually it is projected with trend-based Fibonacci extension tool. Third wave is projected with the Fibonacci retracement tool, which is at the end of the wave and the bottom of the first wave is combined. It is usually 1.618. It can extend to 2.618. It can extend to 3.618. But fifth wave, you can use this website. This is a free tool. It's an investing.com. You can use the candlestick bar patterns because candlestick bar patterns more refinedly tells you the day activity. You can easily project the trend using the candlestick patterns, nature of the candlestick patterns. You can learn about the 6 bullish candlestick pattern, which I have told you. Most common candlestick bearish bullish pattern is the hammer pattern, and also the bearish pattern is the hammer pattern. Wherever you see a hammer pattern in the Elliott wave, in the fourth wave near, you can always predict that it can be a continuation of trend and the fifth wave is starting from there. But we never know that will be a continuation of third wave. Now, as an Elliott wave trader, I used the trend-based Fibonacci extension level. I kept the tool at the end of the first wave, to the end of the third wave, and to the bottom of the fourth wave. From here, I can project that what could be the length of my fifth wave. Fifth wave can vary from 23%, 38%, 50%, 61.8%, 78.6% to the first level. This is the maximum length of the fifth wave where it can extend. When it reaches the first level, 100% of the past trend, basically, we can say this is a stressed wave pattern. It is a stressed wave count for the fifth wave. How we can predict the length of the fifth wave? It also depends upon the history of the last wave patterns. Supposingly, you can see that this was I predicted as a Elliott trader. I used the pattern and I predicted the fifth wave, and I predicted the golden ratio. Supposingly, I predicted, I used the very bottom 23%. Here I could see the nature, still the green candles are here. I could predict that a hammer candle has came again. I could predict this is a continuation of pattern. I ride it till 38%. Again, at 38%, prices wanted to go up, but still the trend is very strong. It ride. Then when it crosses 38%, usually you can say the fifth wave length goes to 61.8%. 61.81%, that is a mathematic ratio using the Fibonacci tool. 61.8% of your previous trend. 1 second, 1 to third. 61.8%. You can also use calculator. From the bottom of the first wave to the top of the third wave, 61.8%. This is the level 18.180. You need to plus on the third wave, you will reach at the fifth wave level. You can see here traders reacted. This is a golden ratio. Usually fifth wave do not extend beyond 61.8. So this was a 61.8 level, and here you can see a correction came of at least, like you can see, 150 point correction came over here, but it carried on again. Now, as a Elliott wave trader, what I'll guide you is you need to end your trade at 61.8%. Now, as an Elliott wave trader, I will not trade into a market until and unless my count of the Elliott wave is very much clear to me. I started my counting from here first, second. I could have identified third wave, fourth wave was correct. Fifth wave, my Elliott wave counting ends near the fifth wave, which is 61.8%, and the golden ratio I've met over there. And I have exited the market at 61.8%. Now, for a few days, I will watch the market. Either I can use a smaller chart going into 15 or 30 minutes chart where you can see these impulsive patterns forming in 15 minutes, 30 minutes. But why I'm using a 1 day chart over here is that it makes you avoid trading more into the market. I believe, like with my past experience, what I am sharing to is the more you trade into the market, the more you lose in the market. I would rather wait patiently and identify my trade. Even if I have to wait for 3 to 4 days to identify my trade, I will wait for this. This is a discipline which comes with the experience. A mature Elliott wave trader will only enter into a market when he can count the waves properly. Supposedly, my fifth wave ended over here, which was 61.8 wave. Now it has ended. Now I cannot identify what is going into the market, like uh, how I can predict the next wave. Now I exited over here. I'm watching patiently. It was 2nd May when I exited. Now coming down to the 3rd May, correction was there. 4th May, it started with a very bold green candle. So here is the hint when an Elliott wave trader can react to it. Now this was a day where I saw a green candle. Now I have to see whether a trend will continue above this or not. Supposingly, this is the candle which ended over here. First, second. So this was a trap candle basically. As I said, my golden ratio is met. What I'll do is, it started with a hammer pattern, again a third wave. So this is basically, when you see, you will say as an Elliott wave trader, this is the start of an impulse. First wave ended, second wave over here, and this is a nature of a third wave, a very bold green candle. Then a fifth wave should have come over here. So what we will try to do over here is we will enter the market on the fifth day when I decided I want to enter the market. On the 5th May, markets open on the gap down basis. There was a huge selling pressure and the market went down till 18,061. So what I could have done on the 5th May, I could have waited till the time it would have crossed the previous day high. On the 4th May, it made a high of, you can see the price values on the screen. So this is basically the open, the high, the low, and the close. So my close was near 1800 255. So this is the value I'm talking about. When I keep my arrow on this candle on the 4th May, it ended near 18 to 55. On 5th May, what you was to do to wait patiently, you could have waited that once the it crosses 18 to 55, you could have entered the trade, because as we talked about the Fibonacci, I will use the Fibonacci extension tool to project the first wave. At the end of the fourth wave, I kept the tool. The fifth wave length came in. As I said, once it crosses 61.81%, the next spot is 78.6%, and the very next spot is 18,580. The moment it crosses 61.8%, it is the very high probability. What I've seen with my experience, like 80 to 90%, it is the extension of the wave 5, and it goes to 100% of the last trend. Here the 100% mathematic ratio or the Fibonacci ratio which we are talking about comes is 18,580 over here. Now, if as a Elliott wave trader, or supposingly if I'm trading in a stock as an investor, I would have waited till it would have crossed 18,255, which is a previous day candle closing, that is 4th May, to enter a trade on 5th May. So supposingly it would have crossed 18,255, then I would have entered my trade with the stop loss of 4th May, that is near 18,088 to right till 18,580. Now you can see now, since we have talked about the projections of the fifth wave, as we talked about from again I am projecting again and again because I want you guys to learn on live basis, because it took me many years to learn these tools. What I'm trying to interpret within this 1.5 hours is it will reduce your journey. When you start learning this wave, you will know already be knowing these basics, how to project the wavelengths, how to measure the correction levels. This will help you quite a lot when you start using Elliott wave in your daily trading. So supposingly, I was predicting 61% and it crossed again. I waited here, but it crossed the trend. This is a correction basically. We will talk about the correction shortly in this seminar. Usually correction is in the form of ABC. This is A correction. This is B. This is C wave. And correction is form of A, B, and C. So supposingly the price crossed over here. Now the very 6th May price crossed, but the price nature I could see, you could see the price movement has become very lethargic. Within like next 5 to 6 days, it hardly moved like 100 and 150 points. A Nifty, which usually moves in a day, easily moves 100 a day. It moved in 5 days only like 100 and 150 points. This is the nature of the corrective pattern. Usually corrections go very slow and it takes days. It is a very big hint that you are under a correction pattern. Now coming back on to like 5th wave. Now supposingly here the correction ended over here, and again it started an impulse, and this impulse was very much aggressive. So as we discussed, like in a history, I cannot predict after 4th wave whether the 3rd wave will continue or not. I was of the notion that this is a 5th wave, but gradually when the 5th wave went on during various days, the nature of it, various green candles ending in a day, and then I could see very aggressive behavior near 25th or 26th May. Here, as a Elliott wave trader, this projection made me revise my count. As a Elliott wave trader, you need to make sure that your counts are accurate. Near like this range, 19th May to flow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, when he reached at this level near 19th May to 2nd June, this was the end of the trend, 29th May. I could make out there is a very aggressive move. This made me revise my count. Now, what I predicted was my third wave shifted to this level. Reason why I did that, it was only because I could have memorized the characteristics of the wave level. Fifth wave in nature is usually very slow. It is lethargic in nature. It will end your pattern in this way. This is a diagonal basically. If I trend line, if I spot a trend line is drawn when you join the tops of the closing of few day prices in a candlestick pattern. When you join the top of the closing of your candlestick pattern of few days, so you can make a trend line, and likewise in the bottom you can make a trend line which are the closing of the closing of the candlestick patterns on those particular days. So this is a trend line. As a Elliott wave trader, I could have sensed that this is the end of a pattern. Now a big correction would be coming in the form of ABC pattern. Like ABC pattern usually goes near. So again, this is a continuation of pattern. Like if this is a one day pattern, now if there is a one impulse end, so this will become your first wave. Uh, as I said, that Elliott wave is always a continuation of patterns. So this would have become your first wave A, and that is your second wave. Sorry, I need to use a tool that is numbering. So as I said, a correction would have come over here. Over here, I expected the end of a pattern. Now the second correction, this would be a higher degree second wave, which I'm talking about. I would have expected it to end near 38% to 61%. So this is like near 38%. Then a new trend would have started. Like but what happened over here? Like market surprised every seller over here. Like supposingly, as a trader, now there is a characteristic of each trader. Either you are a bull, either you are a bear. I believe you cannot go with two mindsets in a day. Either you will practice a bull strategy, either you will become by your nature. This becomes a part of your nature. By my nature, I'm a bull basically, and supposingly shorters over here, they try to enter the try to short the market using the Elliott wave pattern. Since they spotted this is the fifth wave here, wherever counts, this was a third, this was fifth. Supposingly at 15th May, not knowing the future, my pattern ended over here. This one was my fourth wave. A pattern ended over here. I spotted that this is a correction, and now I will wait for it to correct to 38 to 51 50%. But what happened over here is shorters were surprised. Now there was a continuation of a trend, and with the aggressive behavior over here, you can see again gaps. So this is a characteristic of a third wave. Usually what happens is this is again an impulse, as we talked about. The first, third, and fifth wave is a impulsive structure. Now this is a fifth wave which continued from 24th May, and it is extending till 2nd June now. Now again a correction has come. Now since I could predict over here is, I told you like moments back, I changed my counting and I spotted third wave where to be here. Reason behind, I could sense the nature of the waves. This nature is very aggressive. I could have sensed like a first, if I have to sub number the wave over here, like as I mentioned, first, third, and fifth wave are impulsive in nature. In a broader Elliott wave pattern, I would number this in front of you. I would have numbered in. These are the, for my understanding, and these are basically a subwaves. So I'm using a differentiation over here in my numbering pattern. Like there is a subsection in our tax laws. So likewise, to differentiate my patterns, I'm giving it a subsection, a sub numbering over here. This was my second wave, and my third wave. With knowing the characteristics over a period of time, you will never need a Fibonacci tool to project it. You can just look at the behavior of the wave and you can project your numbering easily over there. This was an irregular correction. This was a fourth wave. The internal pattern of the fifth wave pattern, 5-wave pattern. Now we are talking about the fifth wave, which we would have thought it was a fifth wave earlier. But with this last pattern, when the third wave is usually sometimes do not have gaps, you can see green bold candles. How it is compensated in a pattern is fifth wave becomes very aggressive in this pattern. So this is the end of a pattern, fifth wave, a sub wave. Now, for me earlier, till this day, 15th May, it was a fifth wave, end of a pattern. From this point, 18th May, again the trend continued, it was very sharp. Now I remove the probability that this is, in my mind, it was confirmed that this is not a fifth wave because the quality is very sharp and this is the third wave. Now my count will change. This will become my first will remain the same, second will remain the same. Now this will become my first wave of the third wave, because third wave is of impulsive nature and I'm using a differentiation over here. I'm using bold. This is my second wave, which is a sub wave of the third wave. Then there is a continuation of a third wave, which has a sub patterns: first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And here is the continuation of a third wave, since it is a fifth pattern. Broader degree third wave, it is still needs to be continued. It will end somewhere here because I'm continuing the pattern over here. And from here, you can again project your third wave at the top of the first wave and at the bottom of the second wave. You will choose this tool because third wave is the projection of the first wave, as we suggested. So first wave, which is this, which starts from the second wave, which is the sub wave of this third broader cycle, we will use that wave to project the third wave of the differentiating narrow cycle of the broader third wave. Narrow cycle of the broader third wave. Why I'm using it? Because the third wave is still continuing. We are into a narrow cycle of the third wave. You can, as we discussed, there are different cycles. I can say I'm on a grand cycle of the super cycle. So I'm a grand cycle of the super cycle of the third wave, which has ended over here. The third wave has ended over here. Like you can see. So this was the third wave ending. I will shift my count, sorry, here. 1.618 is the projection of the first wave, which like this was a 17,855 where my first wave ended. The bottom of the first wave was here, 16,914, and it ended near 18,446. So we can say that here again my candlestick pattern was shifted fourth, and this was my fifth. Why I'm shifting this is reason behind when I told my mathematical ratio, वो हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, कोई एक तुक्का लग जाए. यहाँ पे हम तुक्के की बात नहीं कर रहे. यहाँ पे हम कोर मैथमेटिकल रेशियोज एंड फिबोनाची because in chartered accountancy, we have been made to think logics. Everything in the stock market works on logics. And when you learn that logics, you are very well prepared and your striking ratio in the stock market will increase drastically, believe me. Now, again, as we discussed, it is 1.618. That is 161.8% of the first wave, which ended over here. My third wave count ended over here. Again, from the bottom, I projected the fourth wave length. From this bottom, where the first wave started and the third wave ended, you can see exactly 23%. Exactly 23%. Although, as I discussed earlier, if your second wave is not that much deep, which ended near 23%, the fourth wave could have been 38%. But again, it ended near 23%. How we can predict the next trend over here is we can see this nature of a candlestick pattern, which is a very, very aggressive hammer pattern candle. From here, you can identify this trend continues. Now here, my larger degree, fourth wave, and my larger degree, fifth wave. As I said, fifth wave needs to be projected. From here, my first cycle started. My third wave ended over here. I projected the length of the fifth wave, and that comes exactly 38%. As I mentioned, when it crosses 23%, it is 38% next level. It needs to cross. Now it needs to cross. How a trader can enter is when it crosses 38% aggressively. Supposingly, from here, if I see my 646, I've exited my trades. Supposingly, it now crosses 18646 levels. What I will try to do is I will try to use a lower degree chart. From a first day, I will try to move on to a 2 hourly chart where I could see more broadly the candlestick pattern. What I will try to see over here is currently there is a correction going on. As I said, correction in the Elliott waves goes in the pattern of A, B, sorry, A, B, and C. So there are there are 3, 4 types of correction here. Usually in the stock markets, what you will see is complex correction and the irregular correction. What are complex correction? Let me tell you. When a pattern corrects supposingly, I would have thought this to be A, B, and C. And on a very next day, to my surprise, I could see again a retracement, which was very slow in nature. It was followed by a trend which was very steep in the form of Z. Now, each pattern over here is a corrective pattern, like supposingly a W pattern. Supposingly, I projected it to be a normal correction. I projected it to be ABC correction. Now each correction towards the down will be in the form of ABC. Now we are talking about corrections over here. We have counted our fifth wave here at the broader degree. Third wave has ended here in the first 1 day chart pattern. Your broader degree for the time being, the grand cycle, which we can say super grand cycle, the third wave has ended over here. Now we are into a correction. Now supposingly we are view that fourth wave is continuing. Here I would like to illustrate correction patterns also. Coming back to the slide. Now I've told you the first wave. What is first wave? I have explained the second wave. It can correct up to 23-70% usually, but it can extend sometime to 80%, 90%. You, as a lot wave trader, you need to wait for the start of the third wave to enter your trade, because a trader always wants a very sharp move at a very less time to make a huge money at a very less time. So there, the third wave is always a favorite of each trader. So we will wait for the second wave to end. There we will see a candlestick pattern in the form of hammer pattern. You will start to see price being taken up. You will see lower wicks forming very long. There you will get a hint, and then the start wave. There will be a start of a third wave, which will start with an aggressive nature with a big green candle, and then followed by a gap where you can be of very much surety that there is a start of the third wave and you can enter as a trader. Third wave of an impulse wave, which is very sharp, steep, creates gap in between because investors are now confident after wave two retracement. Uh, every Elliott wave analyst, as I told you, is looking for wave three because it can give high profits in less time. Fourth wave, as I talked about, it is a corrective wave. The second and the fourth wave of the Elliott impulsive structure is a corrective wave. As I talked about, fourth wave is of nature. It will end near 23.8 to 38% if your second wave is very deep. But if your second wave is small in correction, that is it ended near 23.8 to 38.2%, then your fourth wave will extend till 50% in some cases. Now coming on to the fifth wave. Fifth wave, as I said, that it is slow in nature. And what happens, uh, we always talk about retail investors losing in the market. And it is the fifth wave of the Elliott wave, followed by the third wave, when the news in the stock markets start circulating. You must have watched CNBC Awas and various news channels. Like I have seen people like recommending stocks at very high levels. It is usually the fifth wave when the news starts floating in the news channels. Some at some point they recommend you good, but most of the time, with my experience, what I have seen, what they have been recommending is they are recommending stocks at the fifth level, which is the end of the like Elliott wave pattern, and from there a correction starts. And usually, retail investors invest on the basis of news, and they invest on the fifth wave, and this is the reason they lose in the stock market, because they couldn't enjoy the third wave, which was very sharp, very steep. Now, since you have learned the nature and qualities of the third wave, you can use it in your trading in future by learning the principles of these Elliott wave through me. Uh, Now, since we talked about fifth wave is the end of the pattern, it can be in the shape of the leading diagonal, which I'll tell you now. And the height of the fifth wave, which is near 61.8%, it starts from 23.2, 38.2 is next level. It can extend to 61%. It can further extend to 100% in some cases, as I said. In most of the cases, it ends near 61%. Now coming on to correction. Correction is followed by a wave, ABC pattern. In We are learning the characteristic of the A wave. A wave can be of impulsive nature again. Impulsive nature means again your ABC. Supposingly a correction starts over here, which I'm telling you. A, B, and C. Now we are learning about A wave over here. A wave can be of ABC pattern or it can be of impulsive nature. When I talk about ABC pattern, A wave, the subwaves in the A wave can be of ABC pattern. It is a broader degree A wave. In the subwave, you can see A, B, and C patterns. Now, either ABC or either impulsive pattern. A wave can be first, second again, second wave should not cross the start of the first wave. Now we will apply the impulsive pattern principles in reverse nature. Earlier we were applying it on the upper trend. Now we will apply on the downtrend. The principles will be same. You cannot project the length of the first wave again. Second wave gives you the hint. Here are the shorters. Basically, shorters want to enjoy the third wave or either the C wave. If it is of ABC pattern, C wave is very sharp, or the third wave, which is very sharp. Every shorter wants to enter this, and then again it will be followed by fourth, and then again a fifth wave, which will end your correction pattern. From here, again, our next retracement will start in the nature of B wave. B wave, again, it will be of A, B, and again it will be of ABC pattern, A, B, and C pattern. Again, within this, A will be of impulsive nature, B will be of ABC, and C will be of impulsive nature. Now this is a broader degree C wave. Again, once the retracement is over in the form of A, B, followed, and then again shorters want to enter this C wave, which can be in nature of impulse, or which will always be in nature of impulse. Sorry. One, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now what we studied right from bottom, first, third, and the fifth. First, third, first, third, and the fifth wave are of impulsive nature, and the correction C part of ABC is always in impulsive nature. Now we got four impulse in our countings. First, third, fifth, and C wave are of impulsive nature. The exception for the fifth wave, not of being of impulsive nature, is the ending diagonal. Ending diagonal is basically, it's a 3-3 wave pattern. This is a 3 drive pattern. Whenever the fifth wave nature is of, why I'm showing you of a practical aspect of these nature, reason behind theory will not help you much. Reason behind, you need to know the characteristics of these waves. You need to know the levels at which these waves are projected, or these correct points at where you can see a start of a new trend. Only then you will be able to apply these principles on a live chart. Now, exception for the fifth wave when it is not impulsive is the diagonal. Diagonal is a form of A, B, C, D, E. It ends over here. So whenever you see an ending diagonal in the form of this, followed by a fourth wave, you can say that that is the end of a structure of a 5-wave pattern: first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So that ends, and it will be followed by a correction, which will be form of A, B, C. A can be either of a corrective pattern A, B, C, or it can be impulsive. B is always of corrective pattern A, B, C. Within that, A can be impulsive, C will always be impulsive, and then B, a broader degree B, will be followed by a C wave, which will always be impulsive in nature, and every wave shorter in the Elliott wave market, Elliott wave trader, sorry, will always like to ride either a third wave if they are bulls. As a bull, I always like to ride a third wave, but as a shorter, if you are a bear in the market, you will always like to ride C waves of the corrective patterns, which can be seen either in second wave. In second wave, you can see corrective patterns. How you can identify a C wave? Supposingly, since with my experience now, I can easily identify a C wave, like a very big candles in the wave pattern, those are C waves. Supposingly, I'm using a 1-day chart pattern, going down the line 1 hour chart pattern, you will see impulse over there in this candle. So from experience, I can say this is C wave. This is C wave. When there are smaller degree corrections, like this was the start of correction, supposedly, let me tell you now how you can identify this is A wave, basically. Supposedly, now how to identify? So this is basically a wave. The correction started, but it is not very deep. You can see a very small correction, and then it went from sideways, but it never crossed the top of where the correction started. That is 29th May when it started. The high of this candle is 18661, and here it went high till 18646. It never crossed. So basically, in my lower degree frame, I will number it. This is my A wave of smaller degree, A wave. This is my B wave, which is ABC pattern, as I told you. How you can study is you can always go to a lower chart on a 1 hour chart. You can see again very easily. This time my A wave is of ABC pattern, A, B, and C. Here you can see going into lower degree time frame. You can see here my A correction pattern is of A, B, and C pattern. Now we went for a correction wave, which is always in nature of A, B, and C. This is my smaller degree A. This is my smaller degree B. This is my smaller degree C. And followed by a broader degree A. So this is my full A, which is ABC within it, followed by a B, A, B, C. Here is my broader degree B. And here is the point where I would like to enter this correction. You can see when prices are moving, you can see supposedly this was a false move. Here how now you need to identify, supposedly it was a start of a new trend. Supposedly I thought the correction was ended over here, and I was waiting. Now as a Elliott wave trader, I would wait for a trend to start. Now this is my first wave. I was waiting for the second wave. To my shocking, the very next day it opened a gap. Now when it opens a gap, I could easily identify this is a correction going on, and it is a C wave. As we mentioned, the third and the C wave is of very aggressive nature. Now, how to project the length of a C wave? Where the correction starts, again you will use a Fibonacci trend projection tool, which is also used to project the fifth wave. You will use this tool to project the length of the C wave also. Where the wave A ended, you will keep one dot and you will extend this where the B wave ended. Now you can see here C wave will be of minimum 1.618, as we suggested the third wave, which was 161% of first wave. Now here I'm talking about the C wave, which is minimum 161% of the A wave, which was followed by a B wave, and this correction down the line, it told us very next day that the correction is going on because it opened up with the gap, and C wave and the third wave have the quality of gaps. Now here the third wave has continued it extended it till 2.618 as I suggest. From here, it reversed just above its level, it reversed. Again, you can see there was a gap. This was internal ABC. Correction is going on. Now, this is a grand cycle of, I could say this is a grand cycle A. Basically, as A, B, and C ended over here. So this is my grand cycle A. The reason behind I could make out this is correction going on is the sideways movement is going on. Still, it is going on. When the sideways movement is going on, that means the principle of the impulse are not carried on. Here, if supposingly I number it. Supposingly, I numbered it as first, where I thought ABC pattern is ended. Supposingly for me, it was C and the correction has ended over here and a new trend has started. As a Elliott wave trader, I will never enter the first wave because it is started by an institutional investor. I will wait for the second wave. As we said, it never followed the principle. It crossed the first wave. That means it was a very big hint. The correction is going on, which is followed by the grand cycle of A, which is again going on in the form of ABC pattern, A, B, and C pattern. So here it ended. Again, correction is going on, which is, we'll number it again, A. Supposingly, this numbering is changed. One will be cancelled. This is my A wave. Since the second wave which crossed, it will be my B wave. And you can see the gaps here. This is the quality of C wave. So you can see A, B, and C. This is the quality. Basically, here I will shift my broader degree A counting now, which was earlier here, but with the market moving on sideways, since now I'm a bull trader, I'm waiting for the right point where the impulse is starting, but I'm still numbering my account as a wave trader till the time I get an opportunity. Because I'm a bull, I will not enter the trade. As I mentioned you cannot play both mindsets, a bearish or a bull at the same time. Now I'm numbering my corrections. Here A ended. Again, this is a ABC correction. Now C correction is going on here. A, B, and this will A, B, and it will end over here. In my opinion, we will land here in market. Like if markets are open on Monday, we may test 18,490 before going back again here once, and then we may break out this. This is a broader degree A wave. This is sideways going on, which is a B wave correction. And then we may see a C wave correction over here, because a sideways is basically a hint that market is not ready to make a new trend, which is a new impulse, which we talked about. Now coming back to the theory, A wave, which can be of impulsive nature, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or of ABC nature. Coming on to B wave, most dangerous wave amongst all. As I mentioned that usually B wave bulls, as being a bull nature, I will predict that that is a start of a new trend, because B wave has ABC pattern and A itself is of impulsive nature, which goes sideways. I may predict that that is a start of a trend. That is why in the starting I've told you that never enter in the start of a trend, that is first wave. let the second wave complete and only trade on third wave, which is very fruitful for the Elliott wave traders. I called it dangerous because at a time when C wave is an impulsive and last wave of correction, so it can be deadly. Where, as I told you, Elliott wave traders who are shorters, hello, who are shorters, it can be deadly for the bulls, and it will be very fruitful for the shorters because who are bear, they earn most in the C wave correction. Its projection is 100%. The projection tool which I use over here to project, hello,
Sorry, sir.
okay, which I used towards the end of the B wave. Here I projected the C wave. Since it has crossed the 1.618, next level is 2.618. We can see C wave testing over here. Since it is still continuing, correction is going sideways. Now coming on to corrections, basically correction as we stated that like first wave a leading diagonal, it can be leading diagonal. Fifth wave can be a ending diagonal. Correction is of simple ABC pattern. ABC pattern can be in the form of within subwave ABC, then B wave going three-wave pattern ABC, and C is always impulsive. Irregular corrections. Here, what happens is irregular corrections are in the nature of uh, A will correct downwards, but when usually B goes down sideways, it doesn't crosses the start of the A correction. But when it crosses the start of the A correction, it is irregular corrections. It will be followed by a C wave. C wave usually ends over here. Whenever there is irregular correction in the market, it is a very big hint that market is not ready to go down because it is only that is the reason B wave crosses the A wave correction. Reason behind that tells you that the irregular correction nature tells you that still the bias exists, and C wave ends above the A waves in this nature. Most of the times, it will be 100% of A wave, but it will end above A wave, and it is a very big hint. From here, you can again find a new impulse, which is in the form of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern, and we will wait here second, and then we will enter the third wave, which will be very fruitful. Complex correction, double zigzag, it will be ABC, then followed by a one wave extra, that would be X wave, then ABC. Triple zigzag, it will be ABC followed by X, ABC followed by W, then ABC. Supposingly, I'll show you double zigzag, and you can work on it. Will be A, B, C double zigzag. Then there will be a link wave X, which we will term it as link wave X. Then again, it will be followed by ABC. So this is what we call a double zigzag correction. This can go on the downways. The double zigzag correction can also go the sideways. Here you can see it is a double. It will be a double zigzag correction. A, B, C. This is A, and this is a link wave X. A, B, C. A, B, C. This is a link wave X. Again, we will see a ABC pattern over here sideways. And this is a link wave X, which is going on currently in the market. I think. Since leading diagonal, we have studied this. In the leading diagonal, we have seen, as I told you, leading diagonal will always be in the form of you can project the leading diagonal in two wave bars. It is in this form, which is the which only uh, sorry leading diagonals form in first wave. First wave can be of two patterns, impulsive. Now coming back again, the basic rules which we studied in first slide. Impulsive pattern first, third, and your fifth wave are impulsive wave. Fifth can be the ending diagonal. And there is one exception now I'm introducing to this, which I earlier didn't told you because it would have confused you. Now we have learned basic principles. Elliott wave is of impulsive nature 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, and 5 are impulsive nature. Fifth can be of ending diagonal. First wave can be a leading diagonal, which is the start of a trend. It is again in the form of A, B, C, D pattern. And A, B, C, D, E pattern. So whenever a new trend starts, you see these zigzags and then followed by a correction of 38% to 50%, which is a second wave, ABC form. You can see a third wave starting with the gaps. So in this form, it is a leading diagonal. I'll show you one example which I saw in Union Bank of India. Look, after the correction, leading diagonal is formed. A, B, it should not cross the first wave. B, C, D will cross the first wave, and then the last A, B, C, D, E, and it followed by a correction, which is a second wave of the Elliott structure. It would be near to like 50%, and you can see the characteristic of a third wave. This is the third wave, and this was within 3 months. Stock went from 36 to 96. 3 times it gave your capital. Coming back to you. Ending diagonal we have stated, it can form again, it will be an ABCD pattern followed by an end of a structure ABC. Then again we have to wait for a new impulse when it starts. Again we will apply our principles. We'll wait for first wave to form, second wave to correct, and then enter the third wave. ABC corrections, corrective pattern ABC, we have studied flat. There is now there is naming to a correction pattern also. As I mentioned at the starting, the correction patterns are very complex. It can be of 335 ABC, impulsive, irregular, in which B crosses the A and C ends above the A. The complex correction double zigzag, which I showed you, triple zigzag, it has a two link waves. Key takeaways now. This is the end of the slide. Wave 2, as we stated, cannot retrace more than 100% of wave 1. This is the major principle, and passing this principle only, we can say that a new impulse has been started, a new trend has been started in a stock market where the Elliott wave trader can wait for a wave 3, and you can, as we studied the principle of second wave principles, which correct usually to 61%, it can extend to 78%, sometimes to 90%. In that case, fourth wave will not correct beyond 23 to 38.2%. Wave 3 can never be the shortest wave. This is an exception. When you see an impulse structure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, third will never be the shortest wave. Of 1 or 3, if fifth has projected till 100, first will be shortest. You cannot say the third will be the shortest. Third will never be the shortest wave. In most of the times, first wave is the shortest wave, third and the fifth wave are the more running wave than the first wave. Some in exceptions, like I told you, the fifth wave ends near 38%. Sometimes most of the time it extends to 61%, and exceptionally it times to 100%. Nowadays, I've seen fifth wave extended to 100% many times, and first wave is shorter. Fourth, wave four cannot overlap wave one. As I mentioned, it cannot overlap wave one, but leading diagonal is an exception where the fourth wave overlaps first wave. This is the only exception in the start of an impulse where the in the leading diagonal fourth wave overlaps first, but in a normal impulse, it never overlaps the first wave. The fourth principle, the fourth wave overlaps wave one in the diagonal pattern. As I said, leading diagonals and ending diagonals, fourth wave will overlap. In fifth wave, ending diagonal will form. In first wave, leading diagonal will form. Wave three is extended wave. Then five will not be extended. Supposingly, three is 2.618 of the length. Then fifth wave will land near 61.8. If third wave is 1.618, it never extends. Then fifth wave will extend till first. Wave two, complex correction. Then fourth will be normal correction. If you see complex correction in second, like double zigzag, triple zigzag, like you see sideways correction, then fourth will be normal ABC. Fifth will retrace 100% most of the time, extended if fifth is extended. Leading diagonals occur in first wave, ending diagonals occur in fifth wave only. So that is the end of our Elliott wave license. I hope I could impart basic principles of the Elliott wave. I believe this will be the start of your journey. I took like 1 to 2 years to excel these waves. More and more chart patterns you study with these principles, more and more you apply on these principles on the chart patterns, you will excel in your wave counts, and more you will become more accurate on your wave counts. You need to use the principles which I taught you today. I hope this will help you in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Navjot sir. Your depth of understanding and your ability to articulate the such complex concepts in such a simple manner and in such a short span of time, it has been really a very insightful, and I believe it must have left a lasting impact on all of the participants. And I was just check if there are any questions for this round. Yes, sir. There are two questions. Just a minute. Sir, there is a question. Can we get the PDF of this?
Yes.
You have to share with the technical team, and I think they would attach.
Okay. I will share it. No problem.
Okay. And next question is from Manpreet, and he's asking, why wave 3 is the strongest?
Wave three is strongest because these are basically a defined theory. This is a defined theory. I haven't made this theory. Sir Elliott, Ralph Elliott Nelson, basically formed this theory in 1930, understanding the wave patterns of the market. And then he numbered this theory in the numbering form 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This wave theory was formed way back in 1930, and it got accepted principle throughout the world markets. And these are the principles which are being adopted by every Elliott trader nowadays.
I think no other questions, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are very grateful for the time and effort you invested in this, and it could be expressed from the way you were telling us about everything. And I was really very amazed about the way you were so engrossed in it. We are very thankful and grateful to you for giving your precious time. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye.
You can stop the recording, tech team, now.